What is going on, everybody? How we doing today? As usual, hope we're doing well. Hopefully, you can hear me just fine. Yeah, you should be able to hear me just fine. But it is Saturday, and not just any Saturday. It is the first UFC card of the year, and we're going to be watching some fights here. I'm starting a little bit late. I don't know if I made the first fight or not. I don't know if this is the first fight of the main card, but it is an interesting fight to me because we actually have Arnold Allen fighting, who, if you don't know, all one of you here, there's maybe like two or three people here, actually. What's going on, Zach? What's going on, Cherry Blossom? Arnold Allen is actually a Sam Hyde fan. He's pretty public about that on Twitter. And I actually talked about it a little bit before. I tried to get this guy for Fish Tank. So like again, it just sucks. It just sucks the way last summer went because we were actually, look, the bottom line is, like, we wanted him for Fish Tank, meaning me and a couple other people. We wanted him for Blood Games. We wanted to have him come in and basically just beat the fuck out of people. Like, honestly, like that's kind of what we wanted. And I think he would have been down for it. I got to be honest with you, because I inboxed this guy on Twitter. I'm like, hey, you like Sam Hyde? Have you heard of Fish Tank? And he said yes to both of those things. And then I left him on red because everything went to shit very shortly after that. But yeah, so Arnold Allen is fighting Jan Silva, who is somebody else who has a bit of a profile about him in the UFC right now. He's a part of that, like, fighting nerds thing. That's something that I don't love about, like, some of the well, I don't think it's a thing that's going on right now. I think it's just these guys decided they were gonna do something. They call it like a they call it like a faction, like the Fighting Nerds faction or something like that. Not a fan of that. I think it's really stupid. I think that's a little bit too close to WWE shit. Like, what, we need the NWO for the UFC now? Is that how far we've fallen in the sport? Is that how, like, boring everything's gotten? We need to introduce factions and shit like that. Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage are gonna rise from their graves. Um, but yeah, it's an interesting fight, even if it's just because, like, we happen to know of Arnold Allen. Obviously, we're gonna be pulling for our guy here, and we'll see what happens if he does end up winning. We got an English. He's from England as well. All right, but yeah. So it's been a little crazy for me lately. I tried to do a kick exclusive stream on Wednesday, and it just did not work out. For some reason, kick didn't want to work. I'm gonna keep trying to troubleshoot that, and hopefully we'll be able to do some kick exclusive streams, because I do feel that those would be good to do. But today we are on basically everywhere. We're on YouTube, we're on Kick, we're on Twitch as well. And thank you for being here with me. It's been weird. So, like, naturally, I've been complaining for a while how things have just been kind of doing that on my channel, and with the lack of, like, everything. The fight just started. I'm gonna make this quick. With the lack of, like, streams and stuff like that, I don't expect tons of people to be here today. So, the people that are here, it means even more to me that you happen to be here. So thank you. But we have the fight started right now. This is a lefty versus lefty battle. These guys are both southpaws. We have a snapping lead leg kick to the body from Arnold. So right now, Jan Silva has quite a bit of power in his hands. So he's being patient. He's looking for that one shot that's really going to lay Arnold Allen out. And Arnold is kind of circling right now. He's on the outside, trying to make sure he doesn't end up in the pocket with Jan Silva. Kind of inverse strategies here right now. We have Jan Silva switching to a righty stance, which he's probably going to use that stance to lead with this cross. He probably switched specifically to do that. But right now we have Arnold Allen, who's sort of high energy, kind of twitchy right now, not letting Jan get too close. There's a snapping lead leg kick from Arnold Allen to the shin. I don't know if that was checked or not. I guess we'll see. By the way, thank you very much, Zach, for the thank you very much, Zach, for the for the message that I just pinned. So right now they're just kind of staring each other down. There isn't a whole lot going on, you know. I think like I said, I think Jan's just waiting for that one shot that's going to end the fight, and I think Arnold is waiting to counter that shot. I think that's probably what's going on right now. They're feeling each other out, trying to get ooh, there's a cross up the middle from Arnold Allen. It looks like it may have landed. If not, it just barely missed. But you know, I think they're just feeling each other out right now. Ooh, there's a cross up the middle from Arnold Allen, and that snapped Silva's head back. It's too easy to say Arnold Allen at the same time. A check hook from Arnold Allen instead of just Arnold or just Allen. It's too easy to say Arnold Allen. There's a head kick attempt from Arnold who just missed, and a head kick attempt from Jan Silva, followed by a body kick with a cross on the retraction. Ooh, that was a nice hard body shot, almost a little bit low from Arnold Allen there. They're starting to open up a little bit more. You know, I think Arnold's landing a little bit more at will here. You know, and that's because he's a little bit more active. You know, like I said, Jan is kind of trying to see if he can finish the fight quick. A lot of punches didn't really land from Jan Silva. He ended up he ended up Jan Silva a second ago, he waited for a kick to come in and then he exploded off of the kick that Arnold threw. Ooh, there's a head kick from Arnold Allen. He threw a jab cross into the head kick. Did not land, of course. But you know, you're seeing Silva. He's starting to find Arnold's timing. It can be tough to find timing on someone who's as twitchy as Arnold is right now. He's trying to find the timing and he's starting to find it a little bit. So you're gonna start to see you're gonna start to see looks like there was a no eye poke or anything like that, but it can be tough to find timing on someone as twitchy as Arnold Allen is right now. You know, it can be a real pain in the ass, but you know, Jan Silva is he's being patient. That was a nice tee from Arnold to keep Silva out of there. He's being patient and he's moving forward. He's trying to cut the cage off, which he's starting to do a decent job at. It's just he just has to keep that up for the whole fight, you know. Arnold actually kind of in this case has a bit of a tougher job because it seems like Silva doesn't mind getting hit. Ooh, that was a nice cross up the middle from Arnold though. That definitely kind of that tagged Silva a little bit. I think he's pretending that didn't hurt as much as it did. Um, ooh, exchange there, nothing really landed. But I was saying, ooh, that was nice. Arnold throws a cross up the middle. He pulls back when Yan tries to throw an uppercut, and then he delivered a 1-2 right off of that. That was some pretty slick boxing there. But what I'm trying to say is Arnold Allen has the tougher job right now because all Silva needs to do is get lucky once. Allen has to keep getting lucky over the course of this 3-round fight, which we have about a little over 10 seconds left in this first round. And especially when you consider the fact that it seems like Silva doesn't mind getting hit right now. Oh, hey, that was a nice kick to the head that almost landed from Silva. That's funny. Silva waiting there to talk some shit. Arnold just kind of fucking pushed him away. But what I was trying to say like 3 or 4 times, Silva doesn't seem to mind Arnold's power. He doesn't seem to respect Arnold's power. It's just enough, right? It's just enough as to where it will stop Silva if something lands square. But overall, unless it lands and snaps his head back, he doesn't really react to it. There isn't really much of an effect that is present. And I mean, he's just got to be very careful, right? Talking about Arnold to not end up caught just like that right there where he almost got hit with a head kick. He got caught in the pocket and Silva made him pay for that, right? He's got to stay out of that pocket. He's got to be either all the way out or all the way in. He cannot be both, you know? And that's going to be an issue if he gets caught. But anyway, here we have round number 2 with a head kick from Silva to start out. Cross up the middle doesn't land from Allen. Nah, I mean, I don't think it's difficult to score that round. We have Joe Rogan trying to say it's difficult to score the round. I think that was Arnold Allen's round. He was landing more. He landed harder shots. You know, shots that look hard but don't actually land on a scoring position, scoring part of the body. Those simply do not count. You know, and that's something that I feel like even people who are involved in the sport forget sometimes. Like just because you hit me hard on the arm here, that ooh, nice cross up the middle from Arnold Allen. Silva trying to pretend like that didn't hurt as much as it did, you know. Ooh. You see, what Arnold's doing a good job of right now is he's utilizing pace to his advantage. He knows that Silva wants to set and throw a huge shot, and he's not allowing Silva to set. As long as he keeps that output up, he's going to be fine, but that can be tough. And there is a takedown from Silva right now with Arnold right back up. Ooh, looked like Silva either an eye poke or he got hit in the eye. Oy. Oh. We have a bit of a dog fight here right now. There's an elbow on the exit from Silva that lands. So what I was saying is Allen needs to keep. Oh, okay, there was a slip there. Allen needs to keep that pace up. He cannot let He cannot Silva. Fucking whatever the fuck his first name is. He cannot let Silva set. He cannot let Silva stand in front of him and wing punches and kicks. If he allows that to happen, he's going to be in real danger whenever it ends up happening. Because, like I've said, Silva has the power. He has that ability to knock him out in one punch for sure. He's just got to keep that jab pumping, which he just let one go, and then he was right back out after. That was a nice jab cross. That jab cross from Arnold Allen has been money this entire time. Oh, hey, a kick followed by a flying knee against the cage. That was some pretty smart Muay Thai from Arnold Allen. Ooh, Arnold's hurt. He got caught by a jab cross. He looks mostly fine, but that definitely did not feel good. He definitely did not like that. There's a cross from Silva. This is a tough round to score right now. I would have to give it a Silva so far. We have a little bit under 2 minutes. There was a takedown there. The takedown didn't amount to much. Silva has landed some really tough shots, and he's landing even more now, you know? You're just seeing Arnold sort of start to fade a little bit. There was a nice jab cross up the middle. It looks like at least the jab landed. There's another jab that looked like it almost landed. You see, DC just made a an observation. He said that when Silva, baby, how do you say his fucking first name? I'm saying it like 5 different times. Five. All right, I'm gonna just call him Silva. Fucking. DC made a good observation right now. When Silva lands, it hurts. You can see Allen does not like that, but when he doesn't land, he's always out of position. He finds himself. Ooh, there was a front kick up the middle, followed by a spinning back kick, a spinning wheel kick. Excuse me, that missed. Whenever Silva misses, he's out of position. He's always leaning over his lead leg, which is bad for him. I think instead of marching forward, which is what Arnold's doing right now, I think he needs to go back to what he was doing in round 1, which is, ooh, that was a nice jab. Instead of marching forward, oh, this may not be good. There was a spinning elbow delivered by Silva. Yeah, Allen's marching forward right now, and that's not what he needs to be doing. There was a nice kick almost to the head from Arnold Allen. Arnold's still in this fight. The issue is he's fighting Silva's fight. He's marching forward. He's not utilizing his range. He's not utilizing angulation. He is instead trying to get into a dogfight, and he should not be trying to get into a dogfight. It's entertaining, it's cool to watch, but you know, if he wants to win this, the last thing he should be doing is marching forward with the guy who hits a lot harder than he does. He needs to make sure that he's outpointing, and that's kind of what I was building up to with what I was talking about with what DC was saying. DC said that whenever Silva misses, he's leaning over his front leg. He is out of position in some way, shape, or form. Arnold needs to make him miss with backwards as well as lateral movement, and he needs to counter those big shots. That's the only way he's going to be able to win this. We already established in round one that his punches are not hurting Silva the way he needs to be hurting him. You know, they're doing a little bit of damage, but it's not enough to make Silva scared. Silva's not scared right now, and because of that, he doesn't respect his power. So he's got to revert back to what he was doing in round one. You know, he might feel more comfortable. He might even be like, oh, you know, I mean, yeah, it hurts. It doesn't hurt that bad. But I mean, if he's going to win this fight, he needs this round. There is no doubt in my mind that Silva won that second round. I do think Arnold won that first round. There's an uppercut followed by a kick to the head from Silva to start off the round. Excuse me. Again, he's standing at a range that really makes me nervous. You know, I don't know, like I don't know what his corner's telling him in the meantime. You know, like I don't know what's going on in the head of the guy in the fight. Ooh, there was a nice cross up the middle, reached out and touched Silva. Um, I don't know what the strategy is. You know, I don't know what the game plan is. But it just makes me nervous seeing him stand at this range right now. It might be a bit of a fatigue thing. Oi, kick to the body. It might be a bit of a fatigue thing. I don't know exactly what it is. All I know is that like, I did not like that. That looked like a hard shot to the body from Silva. Just kind of staring each other down right now, waiting for each other to move. There's that lead leg high kick. Most of those punches that just got thrown by Silva didn't really land clean. And oh, okay. So now we have Arnold Allen trying to throw boots in. They're standing right now. He's got a body lock from the back side. We're gonna see if he can get this takedown right now. It's tough. Third round of a fight. Everybody's sweaty. You don't have anything you're allowed to grab. Oh, that was a knee that almost landed to the head. It can be tough, you know, but Arnold Allen's corner right now trying to yep. So what I was gonna say he's got a couple of options from this position, but you know there wasn't too much that he can do. They are now in a body lock, a Greco, more of a upright position, but they ended up disengaging from that. They're back to striking. I feel a little. It's been a while since I've done one of these, so I feel a little rusty. I'm not gonna lie. Like I know what I'm looking at, but like it's happening, and I'm like, oh, how do I explain that to people? You know. There's a single leg attempt from Silva. He does not have it. Now they are in a tie up right now with Arnold Allen against the cage. There was a nice little a trip attempt from Silva, but Arnold stays up. I was saying there was a nice elbow from Silva on the way to the cage, and Arnold Allen is down, but he is back up. I don't know if that would count as a takedown, considering how quick he popped back up. We will see. And now, ooh, that was a nice. Oh, was that a fence grab from Arnold? I'm not gonna lie, it kind of looked like a bit of a fence grab, but then he ended up Granby rolling out of the takedown, which is pretty cool. We had Silva on Arnold's back. spinning back fist attempt from Silva did not land. That hard shot to the body has been working very well for Silva. Even if it's not landing, Arnold does not want to get hit there. He definitely does not want to get hit there. That was a nice tee from Arnold Allen. So Arnold Allen, he just delivered an elbow. Even DC said it was a nice elbow. That was a nice teep. Silva doesn't like that Arnold is able to like. He said nah. So right, ooh, that was a nice hook from Silva. That was a nice tee from Allen. Another nice tee from Allen. You see, those are all scoring these shots that Allen's throwing, and because of that, it's going to be kind of hard to score. Like I could see why someone might give it to Silva right now. Ooh, especially with exchanges like that where Silva's throwing we caught kick, head kick attempt, and that is the end of the fight. All right, so yeah, it's first round Allen, second round Silva, third round I got to give it to Silva as much as I don't want to, because like I said, we know that Allen is an MDE fan. Yeah, it's sucks, but like I'm not gonna sit here and lie about it. He just didn't quite do enough. And he hung on the whole time, though. You got to give it to him that way. It fighting is tough. Like I'm sitting here at home right now. I just had a pizza for dinner, and like I'm gonna crack open a fucking soda in a minute. I'm jolly maxing over here at home. I'm getting ready for the storm that's supposed to be coming tomorrow, and like yeah, sure, I got my fucking black belt, and I've had a few fights myself, but like I'm not in that octagon with either of them right now. I'm not there. I'm not involved. So like I can have my opinion on how things should go down, or what the best what the best oh, interesting. So we can watch that tomorrow on Paramount, baby. Nice. That's good. We won't have fucking interruptions again. But what was I going to say? Yeah, I should have known that would happen because it's the AFC Championship. But the point that I was trying to make is when it comes down to it, um, when it comes down to it, um, you're not there, so you don't know what's going through each guy's head. You don't know what they're capable of doing in the moment. You don't know what the right answer might be in that moment. By the way, what's going on, Slacker Blue? What's going on, Cavlog? What's going on, anybody else? What's going on? James 4177. One moment. Can you state when the rounds begin on your end, please? There seems to be a difference between the streams for me. Oh yeah, I try to make sure I do. Sorry if I don't. These are very low budget, low effort. I'm just kind of here watching some fights and shooting the shit with you guys. But I would like to try my best to Tem cara que verdade aqui. Well, he said he said this is a real man right here. Is that what he said, baby? Fluent. Fluente. Eu sou fluente. Eu, eu sou fluente em português. How do you say fluent? Oh, really? I was just joking when I said it that way, but shit. Anyway, yeah. I'm gonna try to make sure I let you guys know when the rounds start and end. I mean, I usually do anyway, but I could understand I may have messed up at one point or another. Yo, what's going on, Rusty Corvine? Yo, Scott, I poured 40 cubic feet of concrete by the bag today. Have you ever considered trying your hand at concrete? Every time I hear about concrete, every time I see a concrete guy talking about their job, it's always, yeah, yeah, dude, I was fucking pouring concrete in fucking 112-degree weather, dude. Dude, it was fucking insane, and a guy came with a gun and he fucking shot everybody, dude. I got shot, dude. Fucking form, dude. You should come pour concrete with me, dude. Fucking, you can pour concrete, and the fucking boss will go to your house and he'll kill your dog. It's like it sounds it sounds terrible. It, if I'm being honest, Rusty, it sounds like a miserable existence being a concrete pouring guy. And I don't know, maybe that's just like everybody thinks their job sucks. Maybe that's what it is, you know. But I don't know that I don't know that I would want to get into that. I can't keep working with my body, man. You know, like even yesterday I got a fucking migraine. I've been back to work for 1 week. I got a migraine at work because of the work that I do with my body. I'm 31 years old. I should not be. He's fucking barking and shit like that. I forgot that's what he does. Oh boy. Anyway. Fucking yeah, but like when it comes to working with my body, like I'm trying to get out of that. The only way I would ever want to work with my body again is if I opened up an MMA gym and I was able to fucking Joe Rogan with the dumbass glasses. That's the only way I'd work with my body again is like teaching classes. That's about it. Um, excuse me. I did insulation in Georgia in the summer. That was rough. Yeah, it sounds rough. That sounds fucking terrible. You know. Um, it is about as miserable as it sounds. Yeah, I bet. I bet. You know, I'm 40 and ibuprofen is like Skittles to me. Yeah, I don't like taking I don't like taking anything. I'm very like I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not like a health nut like I said. Like I said, I'm not exactly a health nut, right? But when it comes to like pharmaceuticals, even over the counter, it's like I don't want to be taking those all the time. I'm all set, you know. I'd rather just deal with the pain, you know. If the pain's that bad, then fucking sedate me to the point that I'm like a fucking mental patient who tweaked out, you know. Like when the pain gets that bad, then all right, fine, I'll take something. But I don't want it to be like, oh, I got a headache, I'll take some Tylenol. It's like, nah, I'd rather just work through it or stay home because the headache's that bad, you know. Um, the Dragon Fruit Mountain Dew is tremendous. Ever have it? No, I have not actually. There's a Dragon Fruit Mountain Dew. You know what I miss is um, they had like a Sangrita Blast or something like that. I like that. I like that. It was like a pomegranate. I liked that. It was pretty good, I have to say. What's going on, V Sharp TV? How you doing, man? Glad I'm starting to be able to catch these again. Glad to have you back, man. Really glad to have you back. Jet and Ben confirmed Sam won't be hosting season 5. Yeah, I had a feeling, you know. It's like I said, Sam, he doesn't like going places. He doesn't like doing things. He does them. It is begrudge. He begrudgingly leaves the like the fucking like 4 to 5 mile radius around his office. You know, and if he can work from home, he will. Like as soon as I figured out, someone came in here and told me like as soon as someone came in here and told me like, oh hey, fish tank moved there in Georgia, I was like, oh, so Sam's not involved anymore, huh? You know, that's no surprise. That's no surprise. You know, would you try ashwagandha ever? Maybe. You know, I'm not like even supplements. Like I would try supplements before I tried um any sort of like legit like compound pharmaceutical, you know. Um but yeah, you know, maybe. I read a detailed study a long time ago regarding continued use of paracetamol, ibuprofen, leads to reduced quick decision-making capabilities, fought through headaches since except the rarest times. Exactly, 100%, you know? Um, you know, like we all gotta die someday, you know, and we're not all gonna be at the tip top forever, you know. We're not all gonna be in our prime for our entire lives, you know. We're going up, and then we're gonna hit a peak, and you're gonna be at that peak for a little while, not as long as you want to, but you're gonna be there for a little while, and then you're gonna start going down. That's just the way it goes, you know. It sucks, but hey. Um, so it's like there's some things where it's like whatever, like again, like soda, right? Life's too short to not enjoy a soda every now and again. I enjoy more than I should, if we're being fair, if we're being honest. I definitely enjoy more than I should. But life is too short to not have a soda every now and again. But when it comes to pharmaceuticals, things that were processed and like compounded and just like just produced. They were produced by people who don't give a fuck about us. It's like, yeah, you know. Like I've talked a little bit here and there about how I feel about the pharmaceutical industry, specifically when it comes to like antidepressant medication and SSRIs. I could talk till I'm blue in the face about that shit, but that's not what we're here for today, right? What we're here for is Rose Namajunas versus another Brazilian named Silva, and I've got to say she is not that bad looking. She is not that bad looking. I don't hate her, but excuse me. Anyway, um, my facial tics have been acting up for the last week. I'm sure you guys have noticed, but yeah. So it's funny that Rose Namajunas is still fighting. It's pretty crazy. She's been in the UFC for a long time, and you almost forget how long she's been in the UFC. I think Rose is only like 33, 34 years old, somewhere around there. She's been in the UFC since she was like I want to say like 19, 20 years old, you know? Because back when, like, there's not that many women's MMA fighters anywhere, you know? There's just not that many of them. The women don't do the MMA thing like that. It's not very common, you know? Um, and, what was I gonna say? Trying to take care of my fucking neck, but, like, back then when women's MMA was first kind of starting to take off in the UFC, there was even less. So it was real easy for them to be like, we got like a 19-year-old girl. All right, yeah, throw her in there, you know? And that's why Rose has been around for so long. Like I'm curious about that. Um Rose Namajunas. Yeah, she was born in 1992, June 29th, 1992. So that's a little over 2 years. That's about 2.5 years older than me. So she's like 33 or 34 right now. You know, um, it's just crazy. I can't remember a time in the UFC where she was not in the UFC. That's how long she's been in the UFC. That it's like anything before that is like, oh geez, that's like the dark ages. That's back when Chuck Liddell was still in the sport, you know. Um, but yeah, I don't care how good in shape those people over 35 in the gyms are taking Advil after. I'm sure they probably are, you know. Grok makes Scott convert to Islam. Allah. Are you still using Brazilian Fight Pass? Nah, because you know it doesn't exist anymore. Brazilian Fight Pass just it doesn't exist anymore. At least I don't think it does. You know, it got canceled. I've had Paramount Plus for a while now, so it didn't matter anyway. Like I just kept it. But yeah, I'm on Paramount Plus now. After 35, you'll find out after 35 things change. Dude, things have changed. Things are changing for me as is. I got a bad knee. I got a bad shoulder now. I mean, I've had a bad shoulder, but that bad shoulder got a lot worse a couple months ago when I competed at black belt and I popped it. I got a I got a bulge disc in my neck. These are lifelong injuries. I'm never gonna be 100% not injured again for the rest of my life. And the first one that really hit was the knee. It was the knee that hit first. I was 19 years old. I was 12 and 92. Those Pittsburgh Penguins Cup runs were epic. Yeah. I don't know anything about that. All I know about is the Patriots. That's all I know. Dude, the Running Man movie. I saw the Running Man movie I saw the Running Man movie in what's it called? New Hampshire. I went to New Hampshire a couple months ago. I saw the Running Man movie in this movie theater. It was like a podunk town movie theater. We were literally the only ones in the theater, me and my wife. And it was the worst movie I've seen in a long time. I think the only movie that I've seen within the last 5 to 10 years that's been worse than that is Free Guy. I saw Free Guy, and that was a waste of money. I didn't even pay for it. I got some free tickets, and I was like, I guess we could see Free Guy, and I wanted my money back, you know. But, um, yeah, like other than that movie, the Running Man movie, the Running Man remake or reboot or whatever you would call it. It was just so awful, you know. It was like dirtbag lefty people, like millennials who 5 years ago, if you said the word retarded, they'd be like, did you just say the R word? They'd be like that. Now they say retarded because they have made the choice to embrace what they call vulgarity for the sake of trying to win the culture war, you know? And that's what it was. It's like, what they wish they could be, which is like like a tall, gruff, but still handsome, square jawed, broad shouldered white dude who's like anarchy when, like literally that was. I knew from the moment it started it was gonna be fucking stupid, but that was especially the line where I was like, they're doing this like character profiling thing, right? And they did word association, and they're like anarchy, and he's like when, and I was just like, holy fuck, you know, some asshole redditor, you know, some fucking idiot New York City, like my dad pays for my apartment type guy. You know, it was written by one of those fucking guys. And he thinks he's hard because what? He lives in New York City. He thinks he's tough because he got mugged once. He lost a fight once, so he thinks he knows what it is to live that life, you know? Some black dude beat the fuck out of him on one of the trains, on one of the subway trains. And now he thinks he's like, yeah, I'm a New Yorker. Hey, I'm a New Yorker. I'm walking here. Hey, you just don't know how we do it in New York, baby. We're fucking tough, kid. Like that's what he wants. You know that's what the writer was. But anyway, what's going on, Ryan Tucker? Yo, Scott, good to see you on. Keep fighting the good fight. Amen, brother. Amen to you too, man. I was at church before this. I went to church and then I went out with the wife and then I came back home and here I am now, you know? Um, they defend LGBTQ yet are quick to use gay as a slur. Yeah, and I'm glad more people are calling that out, you know? I noticed that years ago. I'm sure I'm not the only person who noticed that years ago. And I'm glad people are starting to notice, like, wait a second. So it's okay to be gay, but the first thing you're going to accuse me of if I have any criticism towards women is being gay. what what's going on here, you know? And it's the fact is it doesn't have to make sense because to them it's not about making sense, it's about trying to have power over you. But it's still good to understand these things. It's still good to recognize these things and be like, ah, okay, so that's what's going on, you know. But anyway, we have Rose Namajunas versus Silva. I don't know what her first name is, and Namajunas obviously in the blue. We're gonna see here what goes on. They literally look like they're dancing right now. The way they're hopping around, it's kind of funny. It's really weird to see the way. It's really weird to see the way this Silva chick is standing. That was an interesting double kick from Silva. She threw a round kick followed by a side kick right off of that. That was very interesting. Stepping into a lead leg head kick, Silva is. She does not quite make it. You can see quite the size difference between these two. It's kind of weird. Like, not only is Rose a little bit taller, but she just looks bigger. Like, she looks like a weight class or two bigger than Silva. I don't know what the deal with that is. Maybe she, you know, maybe she cut weight. This is a flyweight bout. I mean, Rose usually fights at flyweight, you know. You know, I pay so little attention to the UFC women's divisions that I forget if they even have a straw weight. I'm pretty sure they have a straw weight, which is 115 pounds. In which case, I'm wondering if Silva should cut down to that because I really think Rose might be a little bit too big for her. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. If one of those head kicks lands, it's good night. But like, I don't know how the punches are gonna affect Rose. Like, looks like Rose just caught one off of the kick that Silva caught. She looks like she took one to the chin, and either it missed and it looked like it hit from my angle, or it did not, or it did land and it just had no effect. And there's a cross hook right down the middle from Namajunas, and both of them appeared to have landed. See, I like Trevor Whitman as a coach, right? He's caught a little bit of shit lately because, for one thing, his fighters have not done as well. There's an exchange there. Nothing really lands. Nothing too big lands anyway. There's a kick from Rose. I like Trevor Whitman because he can train so many different kinds of fighters, you know? And that's one thing that's frustrated me throughout the course of my, like, training and fighting and coaching time, career, whatever you want to call it, is you get a lot of coaches who, like, they're convinced that their way is the only way to do something and everything else is wrong, and because of that they try and have you fight in a way that's not good. Ooh, Rose Dutch blocks a kick and then she throws a cross right off of that. I don't think it landed, but if she keeps that up, she's going to land eventually. It's going to find a home. Um, what was I saying? I can appreciate that. I can appreciate that Trevor Whitman has like 4 or 5 fighters. I think that yeah, I think it's like 4 or 5 fighters, and they all fight pretty differently. And he's able to get the best out of all of them. Now these fighters are all aging. You know, I think Gaethje is like 30, 35, 36, maybe even 37. Uh, Usman, forget about him. He was fucked up when he came into the sport, you know, and then he's also like getting closer and closer to 40. Like I said, eventually everybody has to start doing that. It's not a stain on Trevor Whitman as a coach. That like fighters get older. You know, that's not the way it's he's not a bad coach just because Rose is not 20 fucking 6 anymore. But with that said, there was a nice spinning back fist from Rose. It seems like women are more susceptible to KOs, and that's why they're reluctant to close distance. I don't know about that one. I don't think it's that they're susceptible to KOs. I just think that women's MMA is well, I mean, it's just that it's women's MMA. Like if you close distance the wrong way, you're just going to get taken down anyway, you know? And these are both strikers who are not known for getting into protracted firefights in the pocket. So, at least ooh, that kick almost landed. At least I know Rose Namajunas is. I don't know about this Silva chick. Maybe she is, but the way she's fighting right now, she likes to use kicks a lot. I know that much. I have not seen too much hand technique out of her. at least not compared to the way she's throwing the kicks. Um, and because of that, takedown attempt from Rose. She tried to go for what looked like an outside trip, and it just did not work. But what I was saying is, like, with these two in particular, they don't strike me as people who want to be in the pocket, like swinging for the fences. I just don't think that's their. I just don't think that's their thing. You know. But I don't know. Maybe. Still waiting on RFK to make Coca-Cola real sugar. Yeah, I would appreciate that too. I would appreciate for like junk food is always going to be junk food, but you know what? I would appreciate if junk food was a little bit less junk, if that makes sense. Free Guy made me want to kill myself. Hell yeah, Free Guy was so awful. Even my wife just looked up at me like, I was telling them about that. Like, we got the tickets for free because we went to see Candyman, was it right? We went to see Candyman, and when we were watching the movie, the fire alarm went off. I'm pretty sure someone pulled the fire alarm, and we had to like evacuate. And in order to be like, hey, sorry about that, whoops, they gave us free tickets, so we got to go in and continue the movie, and then we had free tickets that we could use for any movie. And then like some people we know were like, hey, you want to go see Free Guy? And we were like, fucking sure, I guess. Ooh, that was a nice lead hand from Rose Namajunas. Kind of looked like a combination of like a jab. Ooh, nice lead leg kick from Silva, going up to the head with that kick, of course. They're starting to open up a little bit more. They're getting a little bit more comfortable. You're seeing they're kind of hanging around in the pocket a little bit more. There's a nice stomp to the knee from Silva. There's a jab up the middle from Namajunas. It does not find its mark. We Another lead leg kick that does not quite find its mark, but it still does land on something. So DC talking about how nothing's really landing from either of them. Yeah, it almost looks like a sparring match right now. Like when I spar with people, specifically my students, that looked like a nice, I believe it was a left hook. Sometimes I look away for a half a second and I miss something. There's a cross up the middle, and then she ducked under the return hook from Silva, talking about Rose Namajunas with that cross up the middle. But yeah, like when I spar with people at my gym, unless there's like a real reason to, there's a nice overhand from Namajunas, looked like it might have landed. Um, unless there's a reason to, I typically won't bother landing anything too square. I might touch, I might make contact, but there's a chance that I might not even make contact, right? Because I'm not there to like beat the hell out of people. I'm the coach. My job is to make people better. And if I'm just like beating people up, it's like that's not going to make them better. And part of that is also there against the cage right now. You got Silva trying to hit a body lock right now, and Namajunas reverses, but it ends up in a scramble and they wrestle up. Now Silva is against the cage. Namajunas is holding her there. She's got her head digging into Silva's chin and jaw, which is a good idea on her part. And Silva reverses position. Now Namajunas has her back to the cage. We're going to see if anything happens. We have 2:20 left in this round number 2. Nothing crazy going on right now. We got over-unders right now. And here we have another attempt at a takedown from Silva. But what I was saying is, when it comes down to it, like, as the coach, I'm not going to go in there and constantly, like, land every fucking shot. If I know a shot's going to land, I might just pull it and not even land it. Because if it's that obvious, I don't need to land it to make... Ooh, that was a nice takedown from Rose Namajunas. She walks off the cage and uses that as a setup for an outside trip takedown. That was really good on her part. Now it is closed guard that Rose Namajunas is in. We're going to see how Silva works off her back. All right, see, Rose is stuck there right now. Part of the reason why is because her arms are here, and Silva has her arms wrapped around Rose's arms in a way that have them trapped, so she cannot really do much of anything. Which is why a second ago you saw Rose try her best to slam Silva. See Silva walking her legs up the back just a little bit, trying to find a way that she can hip out in some form. Her head is basically against the cage right now. It's not a good position for her to be in. Got Rose. Silva's got the arms trapped again. And, oh, is that a triangle she's setting up? It looks like she's setting up. Oh, Silva tries to set up the armbar, but Rose does a good job of not allowing one of her arms to get pulled. There's another armbar attempt from Silva. So Rose not able to do too much, even though she ended up on top. You know, that takedown definitely should count. You know. Game movies are a great showcase of the disconnect between audience and creator in Hollywood. At most, there will be a few good scenes. Oh yeah, for sure, 100%. You know. Rose's Detroit pizza video was awesome, unless it's another Rose. I don't know what you're talking about there, CPT. Have you heard the Pat Barry Rose lore? Yes. Yes. Yes, I have. Yeah. The MMA world is fucked up in a couple of different ways. And I'm not saying that, like, every gym you go to, there's going to be situations like that, but you would be surprised how often that does happen. I actually know of a woman. I don't know her, but I know of a woman who, she starts doing jujitsu, and there's this black belt there, and she's like 16, 17. And, you know, they're both Brazilians, and, you know, like, fucking, um, it ended up turning into a relationship that like led to a marriage and a child. And like I think the what I heard, ooh, that was a nice spinning back kick from Silva. Seems like it landed at least partially. Namajunas bounces off the cage there, but yeah, like you'd be surprised how often that does happen. You know, I even made ooh, that was a nice hook. That definitely did not feel good on Silva, but she threw that lead leg side kick up the middle. It's interesting to see her use of the side kick. You don't see a ton of side kicks in MMA. You know, I wonder if she has like a Taekwondo background, because the way she throws her kicks is very it's very interesting. For one thing, she tends to rely on kicks a lot more. Um, she did, however, talking about Silva, she did, however, land a nice hard left hook about like 45 seconds to a minute ago. But you know, I even made the mistake of trying to date people that I met through MMA, and it was just like dog shit. You know, never a situation where it's like I'm an adult trying to date my underage student. Then never something like that. You know, but you know, like if you're stupid, you're gonna do something stupid, and back then I was stupid towards that. You know. Ooh, that looked like a nice left hook. So right now, ooh, that was a nice stomp to the knee, and that was a nice spinning back kick to the midsection from Silva. Not a whole lot going on, honestly. That it's just kind of Ooh, that was a nice teep. I will say Rose kind of she looks a little bit confounded. For one thing, when she is moving forward, she's not really doing much of anything. She's just kind of standing there in front of her. But there is a lot of the time where she is moving back as well, you know? I just feel like Silva looks a little bit more, oh, a fucking head kick attempt misses just barely. Um, Silva seems a little bit, I mean, a lot more active for one thing, but she just seems more confident, you know? Seems like she's standing taller, you know? Seems a little bit more sure of what she's doing. She's kind of doing things with a little bit more conviction. There's a hook kick from Nama Yunez that does not land. Hook kicks are very underutilized because they're very unorthodox and there aren't a whole lot of situations you can use them in. But oh, hey, that was a nice, like a piston, a side kick up the middle from Silva. It's a gazelle punch from Rose, and Rose trying to move in right now. She's marching forward with her punches, which I think that's a good option for her because when she's standing in the pocket or when she's standing in that kicking range more so, she's not having a good go of it. She's getting hit. We have a single leg attempt from Rose right now, turning it into a double leg, and Silva is sprawling, but the sprawl is not as deep as it needs to be. If Rose dogs this, she can dog it. What I would do is I would switch to a single leg, which she just did, and she needs to try her best to keep moving forward and try to rotate, try to turn so that she can hook Silva's leg, but she stood up instead. And ooh, a takedown from Silva while they were in the they ended up standing up. They were in a body lock position and they ended up back on the ground because Silva hit a pretty sweet throw there. And ooh, okay. That was a so she was in the mount, she ended up rolling out of that and now they're standing back up. Again, I'm a little rusty, guys. Sorry if I'm not, you know, explaining everything as it goes down. I gotta. It's the first one of the year. It's the first one in at least 6 weeks. But all right, and that was round number 3. And if I had to give it to somebody, I got to be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure. But if I had to give that last round to somebody, it'd definitely be Silva. You know, it wouldn't surprise me if she takes this. You know, um, I was with family and we put on one battle after another and we had to bail after 15 minutes. It was Antifa porn IMO. Yeah, that's something that's happening a lot. And you know, I'm noticing something. And it's not just me noticing this. Like part of it is that like I have friends who kind of have like a finger on the pulse of like different things that are going on. The left wing is trying its best to toughen up, and they're doing that a couple of different ways. For one thing, I've talked about this before. You have the hick left, you have the hick lib, right? That's something that's been around for a while, where it's like a guy who pretends because he's wearing flannel and like he doesn't hate country music that means there's some kind of like down home country boy, good old folk knowledge to him. There is a folk knowledge that he has, and that folk knowledge is trans rights. I say trans rights. Like that's what Hicklib is supposed to be, right? They're trying to take that like sureness. They're trying to take that like again that folk knowledge, that country folk knowledge, um that everybody kind of understands is like metaphysically correct. They're trying to take that and they're trying to like inject like gay BLM trans bullshit into it is what they're trying to do. So that's why Hicklib is a thing. By the way, Silva won. That's why Hicklib is a thing, right? You also have punk rockers trying to make a comeback where like it's not like a sensitive boy punk rock anymore. You have like hardcore coming back. A friend of mine He, like I said, he has his finger on the pulse of kind of like the Boston hardcore scene, and he's saying that there's a lot of young leftists who are in the hardcore scene who like they're trying to bring back FSU and shit like that. And then you also have movies where again like with the Running Man remake where it's like there's a dude who's not completely and totally dysgenic. He's in good shape. He doesn't look like he has some kind of like venereal disease that he was born with, you know. He's sitting there going, "Anarchy, when? Anarchy, yeah. I say anarchy." Like they're trying their best to toughen up via things like that, via creating environments and scenes and stuff like that. Basically hipster shit. They're trying to inject testosterone and toughness into hipster shit. Um, and they're also trying to hype themselves up into basically what like the right wing did with a lot of the maybe not movies because movies have been cucked for a long time, but like a lot of the say like YouTubers and music and other stuff that they did, a lot of the media that the right wing decided to start producing and consuming was media that said, hey, be tough, be a strong man among the weak men, be a man among the ruins, right? Um, the left is trying their best to do that themselves, and that's why you would see something like One Battle After Another, which I personally have not watched, but what I can gather about it is there's a lot of fighting in there. There is a lot of shooting guns and fighting, you know, fist fights and other things like that, right? There's action scenes. Again, Running Man, it's you know, like the guy ends up having to kill a bunch of dudes that are trying to kill him. You know, the hardcore scene where again, like FSU, dude, FSU is back. Dude, FSU is totally beating up Nazis, dude, they're skinheads and FSU's gonna beat them up, you know? Oh, excuse me. And that will work a little bit. That will work a little bit. You know, like it can and it will work a little bit, but it's not going to work the way that they need it to, you know? And another great example of this too is how all of a sudden the left wing doesn't want to ban guns. Now like if you know the left wing for real, you understand that like not everybody on the left wing is a Democrat. There are plenty of pro gun, and when I say pro gun, I mean like they want full auto AKs and RPG sevens and they want to be able to make bombs and stuff like that. They want to be able to drive tanks. There are those people on the left wing, but they're not nearly as big. They're not nearly as widespread on the right, but you're starting to see more and more people on the left wing, specifically anti-gun people, the kind of people who they're like, no, we need to ban weapons of war, like that type of thing. You're starting to see more and more of them try to adopt the pro-gun um the pro gun standpoint, and you're also seeing them try to act like they're totally pro America and I believe in my constitutional rights and you know what, America is the land of the free and I'm gonna be free, damn it. You're starting to see more and more of that, especially with the shit going on in Minneapolis, and that's gonna fail them because we all remember less than 3 years ago when they were still spitting on the Constitution and saying, haha, fuck your rights. You know, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. It will work in some ways, but it won't work most of the ways. And movies is one of them. You know, the movies are trash. Nobody likes them. Nobody wants to see that shit. So they're just not going to get watched, you know? Or if they get watched, it's going to be by fat Redditors. And then also you're gonna have like I said, you know, people who they just can't get behind guns or they try to pretend like they are but they're really not, and it's going to be very obvious, you know. It's there's ways it's going to work, there's ways it's not. That just is what it is, you know. um Pat Barry is home cooking with an apron while Rose is out here making all the money. Hell yeah, dude. Basically, you know. Like that almost seems like that's what it is. And I'm not saying that Pat Barry doesn't love Rose Namajunas and you know vice versa. I'm not saying it's like 100%. I'm not. At least I'm not trying to, right? But um it does almost seem like Pat Barry didn't have the success that he wanted to have in the UFC. And because of that, he was like, well, this girl that I just fell in love with, who's only like 17, you know, she was 14 when they met, by the way. She was 14 when they met. That's like a known fact. Um, but like let's say they started dating and she was like 16, 17. You know, he's probably sitting there thinking, "Oh, well, you know, I didn't make it, but like I know everything that went wrong. I can make sure it doesn't happen with her." You know? Like that's legit. That it would not surprise me. It would not surprise me one bit. Um, you summed it up, and Leonardo loves the Black Antifa cell member. Oh boy, I can only imagine. You know. Oh man. So it's Waldo Cortez Acosta versus Derek Lewis. Oh yeah, it is Derek Lewis. Okay, we're getting a Derek Lewis fight today. Maybe we're in something. Maybe we're in for something fun. I gotta get a haircut. Man. But yeah, like it's kind of frustrating. I'm not gonna lie. Like to know all of this stuff firsthand, to like have been there when a lot of this shit started happening, to notice like the change in the trends and stuff like that, and like people like I'm gonna be bitching is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be bitching a little bit, so I apologize in advance. But it's frustrating to be someone who like I have my finger on the pulse in a way that most people don't. But like because I'm not a grifter, you know, I don't get the attention that I deserve. You know, um, people really like they like this it's why most people do not deserve to have the right to vote. It's why most people do not deserve to have a voice that's meaningful, you know. Just because you have a voice doesn't mean it's meaningful. You know, you unless you're using the buzzwords, unless you're talking about Palantir or like whatever Nick Fuentes is talking about now, or like whatever the Tim Pool sphere or the what's his face Ben Shapiro sphere. Unless you're using the words that those guys are using, unless you're talking about what they're talking about, most people don't give a shit, because at the end of the day most people don't actually care about changing anything for the better. They just want to feel like they're correct about things, you know. I'm literally I'm not arguing with the guy anymore, but I got into like a short little like tiff with a guy on YouTube, not YouTube, Twitter today. I got into a short little tiff on Twitter today with a fucking guy who like with the whole Minneapolis somebody else got shot thing, right? And I don't know, like maybe it was justified, maybe it wasn't. All I know is that guy went out there to cause problems, and well, a problem got caused. So you know, he got what he was hoping for, even if he doesn't think he did, or even if he didn't think he did, he ain't here anymore. But um, like I got into an argument about that, right? There were 7 guys on top of that dude. Now, whether or not the shooting was justified or not, 7 guys should have been able to subdue and apprehend that one guy, but they just could not, because cops, including ICE, don't know what the fuck they're doing in terms of unarmed combat. It's just the reality, you know. There are very few cops that you could point to in America that would be able to do something if I decided not to fucking like comply, you know. And that's not like tough talk. This is just like the truth. Like it's objective. And I'm saying that not to be like I'm tough, but to be like, hey, you need what I have. You need what everybody in every fucking jujitsu or wrestling room has. You absolutely 100% need that. You cannot go without it. That's what that means, right? Um, there's this guy who's like, he's trying to be. I won't tell you the whole thing. It's just like people who sit on Twitter all day trying to tell me that I don't know how to like actually control somebody, that I don't know how to actually um I don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to unarmed combat, and it's like, no, most people should not. That's one of the worst things about social media, and everybody kind of knows this. It's one of the worst things about social media is that we allow people to think that they have a right to share their like retarded opinions and things like that. And I mean, they do, obviously, you know, but like sometimes it makes you wonder about that First Amendment thing. You know, it's so fucking annoying. Um, O'Malley about to punch Song Yadong's eye. Is that what you meant to say, smart moron? Is that what you meant to say? You know. But yeah, it's there's so many ads on Paramount Plus. Like I'm just waiting for the next fight to start, and it's not fighting. It's not fighting. It's not starting. Yeah. The point I was trying to make with that, right? Like it gets under my skins. It gets under my skin, and I want to tell you guys about it. But it's one of those things that if I try to tell you about it, I'm not going to be able to do it justice. It's just going to be stupid. So pardon me for that. The point that I was trying to make overall is that like not everybody should have an opinion. Just because you have a right to an opinion doesn't mean you're qualified to share it. And this isn't like a trust the science thing. This is a look, like if you don't know what you're talking about, you genuinely don't know what you're talking about, you know. And oh, excuse me. It's just like to see grifters who don't really know what they're talking about. They're saying nothing in so many words. It does get frustrating, you know, to be someone who knows what they're talking about, and you're like, yo, this is what it is. And you have some fucking asshole who, because he uses the buzzwords again, he uses the buzzwords, and he um here we are. He uses the buzzwords, and he has the wow, this is really stupid. I'll tell you what's really dumb about Paramount Plus right now. But to have like somebody who they don't know what they're fucking talking about, they're saying nothing, but because they're using the buzzwords, they're getting like tons of success. It's like that's pretty annoying. That's pretty stupid, you know. But yeah, one of the things that's really stupid about Paramount Plus is not only the amount of ads, but also they don't even show you the walkouts anymore. They didn't show us Waldo Cortez Acosta's walkout. Instead they showed us ads, and then when he got to the octagon, it flashed back to him walking into the cage, and instead of just allowing us to see him walk into the cage, what it did was they divided up the screen. Like a fourth of the screen was the actual like Waldo, whatever his name is, trying to get loose in the octagon, and the other 3/4 of the screen was more. And here's another fucking ad. Here's another ad. Here's another ad. We have another ad right now for the announcement. Wow, that is bonkers. That is fucking insane. Those people would have been shouting at the clouds 50 years ago. Now they're listened to. Exactly. You know, exactly. And not only that, but they can make money and they can get really popular off of that stuff. You know, I don't think the left is wrong that it's harmful to have people spouting lies and things like that. You know, I just think that the left doesn't know what free speech is. I don't think they know what a lie is either. You know, I think even communists should be allowed to spout their bullshit. You know, but if you think I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna give a commie any leeway to be able to spout their bullshit around me. I'm sorry, but no, I'm gonna do something, anything, even if it's just stand up in the middle of the crowd and be like, "Fuck you," you know, like I'm gonna try and obstruct that in any way that I can, you know, and that was something that was understood years ago, you know. You used to have people in towns across America who would be like, "We aren't putting up with that shit. Get out of this town. Bring that somewhere else." There's a town down the street, you know, go a couple miles down the street. Maybe they'll be cool with you there, but we're not cool with you here, you know. But now everyone can sit all around the world behind their phone or behind their computer, and they can say the dumbest shit that is factually incorrect. And it's like, that's a tough one. That is a tough one, you know. All right, so we got Lewis versus Waldo Cortez. Cortez Acosta is his full name. But there's a lead leg kick, a jumping lead leg kick from Derek Lewis to start out. You hear that, baby? USA, USA, USA. That's right. Does Brazil have a chant? Brazil, Brazil. Really? Is that what you guys do? Not exactly. Similar. How do you do it? I don't remember. You don't remember? Yeah, right. No, I don't. Oh man. Anyway, these are heavyweights, so it could end pretty much any second. You know, it could end any second, and I don't think it wouldn't surprise me if we don't get out of this first round. You know, but we'll see what happens there. These guys are lumbering, but they are powerful, so we're gonna see. We're gonna see what happens here. Just kind of standing in front of each other right now. Nothing too crazy. Nobody wants to make a move, you know? Oi. Left high kick from Derek Lewis. I have to say it's pretty impressive that somebody that big can throw a high kick like that. That is I mean, I could throw high kicks still, but I'm not as big or frankly as old as Derek Lewis is, you know? I think Derek Lewis is like 6'4", something like that. Like he is a mountain of a man, that's for sure. Again, these guys. Oh, there's a jab from Waldo. There's another jab. That one does not land this time. These guys are these guys are taking their time. They don't want to rush. You know, they know that it could end at any second, so they're not gonna rush. You know, I think that's what's going on here. Derek Lewis to go 13.50% on his ass. Yeah. Oh boy. I bet they don't show walkouts because of the music. Yeah, that wouldn't surprise me. You know. Nice low kick from Waldo there. Derek Lewis against the cage right now. He's actually pretty. Ooh, there's an overhand attempt from Waldo that misses. I was gonna say like Derek Lewis against the cage. That's still a dangerous Derek Lewis. You know, it's kind of like how Floyd Mayweather was off the ropes. Except instead of speed, instead of precision, you're gonna see power. You're gonna see him waiting for that to come and then loading up. And we have Derek Lewis on the ground. He threw a body kick, which was caught by Waldo, and he took him down off of that. Waldo throwing some kicks right now, trying to play that open guard from standing. He's got to be very careful with the up kicks. He tries to rain down a punch. I don't know if it landed too well, and Waldo is letting him back up. Oh, there. Oh, ooh. Looks like something happened with Waldo. I think he's all good. I think he might have just stepped wrong, but you saw his leg kind of buckle underneath him. Derek Lewis coming in with a few punches. Waldo is out of there. You can see Derek is starting to turn on like a faucet there. You're starting to see all the sweat. Waldo is a lot younger than him. He's smaller. He's a little bit more sleek, It wouldn't surprise me if his gas tank is a little bit better than Derek Lewis's. He probably wanted to make sure he took this round off to kind of let Derek tire himself out a little bit, and that's not a bad idea at all. So that is the end of round one, and I don't know who I'd give it to. Honestly, I really don't know. Like, I don't know who to give it to because I'm just like, I don't know. There wasn't a whole lot that happened there. Oh, excuse me. Yeah, it's funny though that it's funny though in that movie with Leo, One Battle After Another. It's funny that there's like an Antifa guy in that movie apparently. That's something you're starting to see more and more in media is like there's the Antifa people, like the underground resistance movement type deal. And that's no it's like I said, they're trying to toughen people up via conditioning through the media. They're trying their best to make people think that like the cool guy thing to do is to wear a black mask and fucking throw piss, you know. To piss in a bottle and carry it around with you all day. They're trying to convince you that that's a good idea. Not just a good idea, but that's what a freedom fighter does. And it's like fucking A. But anyway, we just started round 2 of this 3-round fight, and it is a little bit more of the same right now. You're seeing Waldo. There's a jab. He's walking Derek down a little bit. I think Derek is definitely trying to time that. There's that jumping kick. That's gotta hurt. Someone as big as Derek Lewis, if he's trying to hit you with that, even if you catch it on your arm, there's no way that doesn't hurt. You know. Uh, Waldo kind of popping him a little bit. Literally just like touched him. Ooh, there's a cross that catches Derek Lewis coming in. That definitely hurt him. That did not feel good. There's a knee on the break from that clinch that they were in. And Derek Lewis coming in with a couple of overhands, and it looks like he almost takes Waldo down. That was pretty crazy. Oh, yeah, there's a kick from Waldo. Waldo, holy shit, man. What a name. DC making a good point there, saying that Waldo should throw more of those kicks. He has good kicks. They land clean, they land square, and they're quick. They're kind of hard to see coming. The way he throws them. There's an inner leg kick. Oh, he catches Derek Lewis again with a cross up the middle while Derek is trying to rush in. So right now Waldo's being patient and he's catching Derek Lewis when he comes forward with these wild punches. Derek wants this to end. He doesn't want to stay in there, especially now he knows that Waldo is kind of landing whenever he feels like. That's not a good feeling. Couple of jabs from Waldo. There's an overhand attempt from Derek. It does not land. Yeah, I mean, if Waldo can just keep touching Derek, he doesn't even have to throw everything into it. As long as he can just keep popping them, Derek's just going to continue to get tired. And he might be able to finish it closer to the end of this round or in the third round. We are approaching the halfway point right now. We are at the halfway point now. And here's an overhand from Waldo. It does not land. Ooh, there is a lead hook from Derek Lewis that almost took Waldo's head off, but he got out of the way just in time. Cross the body from Waldo, changing levels. That's a good move on his part. Derek Lewis tried to counter that jab with an overhand right. There's a lead. Ooh, a lead hook followed by a rear hook from Derek Lewis, and he literally gets pushed over, and this might be the fight. This might be the fight. Derek Lewis in turtle position, and that is the fight. Derek missed 2 shots. He threw a lead hook and a rear hook, and Waldo stepped back and pushed him over. He literally went, "What?" And Derek Lewis fell over, and that was the beginning. That was the beginning of the that was the beginning of the end for this fight. Derek Lewis not getting up on the stool right now. I heard Joe Rogan mention something about a leg. I don't know if he injured his leg and that's why the push was so effective, but he literally got pushed over and then ended up in turtle position. It's kind of crazy. Oh, it was a slip. It looked like Waldo pushed him, you know? Yeah. And that was the end of it. Yeah, it looked like his yeah. So he got touched, right? But it was mostly the slip that put him down. That was yeah, that sucks, you know. When you're that like I used to fight at 170 pounds. I'm now almost 100 pounds more than that. I'm probably straight up 100 pounds more than that at this point. I let myself go, as the people who've been watching me for a while are aware. And if there's one thing I've become more cognizant of since putting on all that weight, it is the fact that I have to be more careful about what happens with my legs. You know, I had to stop jumping rope because if I jump rope, my legs are fucked for like a couple of days after. There's too much weight on my upper body for my legs to support right now. I'm sure like maybe my legs would get used to it and stuff like that. Sure, fine, whatever. But I'd rather not have to do that because that's really bad for my legs. You know. There are some things that I've stopped doing as much because I just know that like, hey, my legs have to support my whole body, and it ain't gonna work out very well for me. So I should just not do that. Um, excuse me, but yeah, being that big and having something happen with your legs, it's like, oh man, you know. Oh man. Um, But yeah, the other thing I wanted to talk about with that whole Antifa in media thing, I can remember I think it was like 2018, 2019, and there was this Australian TV show that had like a skinhead gang that was like in a war with like Antifa, like literally Antifa. They called them like anti-fash in the show, right? And they dressed like Antifa, they behaved like Antifa. And there's this scene in the show, right? I never bothered to watch it. I just remember when it was announced, and I remembered seeing the scene in the show. And this is made by Australians who are left wingers, and they thought this played out. They thought this was going to be received a lot different than it actually was. Basically, there was a funeral for one of the skinheads who died. If it wasn't a funeral, then it was like a remembrance vigil, right? And Antifa decided they would attack the vigil. So they're attacking what is essentially like a funeral or like a remembrance gathering for this individual. And they end up getting beat to high hell. They get absolutely positively fucked up talking about the Antifa guys. It turns out the skinheads knew that that was the plan, so they had backup on standby. And the Antifa people got like absolutely fucking crushed. And the way the TV show played that, they were trying to play it like that was like some big treacherous moment from the skinheads and like, oh, the good guys lost that one. And it's like, yo, a guy died, I would assume because of something you guys did, talking about Antifa, and you decided you would attack the funeral, which is exactly what real life Antifa would do, mind you. That's exactly the shit that they would do. I've seen them do stuff like that and worse, you know. Um, and everyone watching this is supposed to be like, oh well, huh, man, those Nazis sure are evil. It's like, what the fuck? What are you talking about? You know, but again, it's people who are trying to groom. People are trying to groom these people, you know. There's Colby Covington. I wonder if he's ever gonna fight again. Uh, then there's fucking what's his name? That guy, Alex Pereira. Man, uh, I'm wondering. I believe, or at least I would expect it is the main event coming up. I would expect it's the main event coming up. You know, I would guess. I would guess. I don't know for sure though. I don't know for sure. Wait a second. Let me see. Um, Sorry, looking at some stuff real quick. UFC. Where the fuck is? Um, there's another Scream movie coming up. I think the last thing we needed was Zoomer Scream movies. I think that's something that should have been like a '90s thing, you know, not even like a 2000s thing. Like that should have been like that should have been the '90s. You know, it should have been like 1999 should have been the last year that a Scream movie could have been released. But for some reason now we have fucking Scream 25, and it's 2026, and it's really weird, and it feels like the soul has been lost, the soul of the Scream movies, because the Scream movies were always supposed to be a spoof of slasher flicks. You know, that's what Wes Craven wanted, you know. um Funny enough, the original title of the movie Scream was going to be Scary Movie. So interesting, right? They decided to scrap that, and then sure enough, at some point, the Scary Movie franchise comes out. But yeah, so this is the whatever it's called, the thing with the stuff, the co-main event. I was wondering how many fights until the co-main event, you know. But yeah, how are you moving your hair like that? What do you mean my facial tics? Fucking, I don't know. You know, I just always had them. You see, I had cellulitis when I was a kid, and it almost killed me. Literally, like I was told years later, like, oh yeah, if you didn't get to the hospital when you did, you would have died. I spent a few days in the hospital, and one of the issues that arose after the cellulitis was I developed tics, and they were really bad when I was a kid, but they got better as time went on, and now they come and go. Like, I'll have like a good week, a bad week. I'll go like months without any ticks or anything like that, and then all of a sudden I'll get fucking ticks again, you know. And it all, like, the ticks always revolve around like my like, my my eyebrows or my ears or something like that, you know. So like, you know um okay, there we go. Yep. Oh man. It is crazy. Like it feels like it's been forever since Sean O'Malley ended up in the UFC. He's been in the UFC since what, like 2018, 2019, somewhere around there. I'm curious. Let's look that up now. Um, Sorry, I'm just looking around here. Yes, 2017. He was in the UFC in 2017. It's crazy how long it's been because truthfully it feels like he has been here not as long. It doesn't feel like he has been in the game as long as he has. He's less than a month older than me. He was born October 24th, 1994. So that's pretty crazy. What was I gonna say? Yeah, you know. It's just funny the amount of hype he had, right? Like, and again, this is kind of what I'm talking about with like how the UFC is, since they became the de facto monopoly on MMA in the West and the world. Like, let's see here. Dana White's Contender Series, he wins. Okay, he fights Terrion Ware, Andre Sukumtath, um, who is actually somebody from my region. Uh, Jose Alberto Quinones, Eddie Wineland, Marlon Vera, Thomas Almeida, Chris Mutino, again somebody else from my region. Um, Raulian Paiva, Pedro Munoz, Peter Yan, Aljamain Sterling, Marlon Vera, Marab Davalishvili. How many of those names are names that you would say are like career defining wins? Like that's what, like, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 fights in the UFC, and only like three or four of those names are names that it's like, ooh, he beat that guy. Excuse me. And he didn't even beat Marab. So it's like, you know, Sean is just one of those guys they handed a career to. They handed him a career. And it's because he had that viral moment on Contender Series back in 2017 when Contender Series was like still new. It's like the Ultimate Fighter. Like nobody cares about the Ultimate Fighter anymore. But people, if you mention season 1, 2, 3, any one of the first like 5 or 6 seasons, yeah, you're gonna get people who like they ended up being somebody in the sport. But nowadays, like nobody gives a fuck about the Ultimate Fighter. Is the Ultimate Fighter still even going? Is it? I don't know if it is. If it is, that's a surprise to me. But um, then you have Contender Series where like almost 10 years ago, maybe it was even 10 years ago or more at this point. But when it first hit the scene, yeah, it mattered. But like overall, nobody cares about it now. What's it matter now? There's so many Contender Series events. There's so many fighters who've been on Contender Series. Most of those guys win and then they don't do anything anyway. Um, so it's like, to see Sean get gifted a career because he had a viral moment on Contender Series, and then he decided he would dye his hair and get a bunch of tattoos. It's like, well, you know. Oh, do you have Tourette's by any chance? Like a milder form of it? I have something else that I'd rather not tell you the name of because it's kind of fucking stupid. If I'm just being honest with you, it's pretty dumb. It is pretty stupid. Um, I gotta go here and then there. Glory belongs to the Communist Party of China, says gay guy of World War II. Of course. Of course. Song Yadong is such a funny name. It almost sounds made up. Like it's all like if I didn't know who this guy was and you said his name, I would think you were making a joke. I would think you were making like a Ching Chong joke. like really. It's funny. And I'm curious how this is gonna go because I guess Song Yadong is pretty good. I just don't know much about him, you know. We shall see. We shall see. All right, we're waiting on that Sean O'Malley walkout. Yo, he looks like with that goat. He has like he looks like the devil. The baby, does Sean O'Malley not look like the devil? He does with the goatee and the beard, you know, and like he just has that he looks like he should be walking out with a pitchfork, you know. You know, it's just crazy with Sean O'Malley because, like I said, he's been in the UFC for a lot longer than he seems like he has. You know, it feels like time has flown, and he's only 31 years old. 31 years old is not even close to like having to call it over in the modern UFC. You know, there's dudes that can be pretty competitive. There's dudes that can be pretty competitive even in their like mid 30s. You'd be surprised how well they could do uh in the UFC if given the right matchups and things like that, you know? So it's like Sean O'Malley's in a weird place where there's no way he's gonna beat Marab, so it's like, shit, what's he gonna do? Damn, you know? You're gonna keep giving him title fights even though he keeps fucking losing? Excuse me. You know, like he is not someone who wants to be a gatekeeper, but unfortunately, as long as Marab is fighting, he's going to be a gatekeeper. Maybe he could try to move up in weight. I don't know how he'd fare at 145. 145 pounds. Geez. Maybe he'd do okay. Maybe the guys would be a little too big for him. His power would diminish. I don't know. You know, beats me. You know, all I know is like I guess it's cool to see Sean O'Malley in the UFC, but like, you know, I don't know where he goes from here. You know, woke isn't popular when all the victims of current state violence are white. Yeah, fucking A. You know, it's insane. Like I talk a little bit about activism every now and again, and like I wish I had an outlet to talk about it like more in depth. Um, you know, like if I ever go back on PKA, I'll probably do like a start to finish, like, so here's what I was involved in type of thing. But like I've infiltrated, quote unquote, you know, making it sound a lot more like, you know, making it sound a lot more dire than it actually was. All I needed was fucking Discord links and to like convince somebody that I wasn't a right winger. That's it. You know, that's nothing. I infiltrated a few left wing chats over my time in activism, and yeah, they had conversations about like, oh, we have funding, and it's like, oh, gee, that's such funny thing to say. And knowing now what that means, it's like, well, we all knew what it meant back then. We all knew what that meant, right? But like, especially after the US aid shit, it's like, oh, ha ha ha, you know. I saw Antifa trading bomb making manuals and things like that during the George Floyd riots too. Not just like, here's this thing so you can have it, just cuz, haha, it's for research purposes, teehee. No, like literally like, hey guys, like we should use these to fucking do this later, and then another thing was also them talking about trying to activate the black community. They would try their best to they would try their best to find ways to get black people to do violence for them, or at the very least to run cover for any violence that they wanted to pull. That was the thing that they did, and we found them. I took screenshots at the time, specifically of the illegal like fucking terror act planning, because technically speaking I had to report that to the authorities, and I did report it to the authorities. And of course nothing happened because you know um but like it, it is it's one thing to know this stuff just because it's blaringly obvious. It's blatantly obvious. It's another thing to literally see some like leftist college professor type dude who like he has years of organizing. That's what they call it, organizing. Really, it's agitating and terrorism. Um, he has years of that under his belt, so he's sitting there talking about it like a plumber would talk about how you fix pipes. You know, talking about we need the black community to rise up because they're the only ones that will help us to bring down the system in a real way, with fucking the violent struggle, like that type of shit. It's like, wow, that is insane you know Anyway, here we have round number one, and Sean O'Malley is 5'11". I'm an inch taller than him. He's a manlet. And we have Song Yadong in the black trunks, and he is 5'8". And the reason I say that is because you can see the difference between them. It is palpable. And for someone like Sean O'Malley, that's going to be very good. He wants to be at that long range. He wants to keep you at the end of his punches and the end of his kicks. And Song Yadong is going to have to be very careful about not getting tagged with one of those. That is a lead leg kick to Sean O'Malley's leg from Song Yadong. There's an attempt at another one, does not land. Sean tries to return with a teep, does not land. So Sean tried to move forward, and he was showing his left hand, and Song Yadong, in response, he started loading up a right hand, which is a good idea on his part in that situation. He got ready to slip what would have been a jab or a cross and come over the top with the right hand. That would have been good on his part. What Song needs to do is he needs to get in. He needs to cut the ring off. Basically, kind of similar to how Chris Mutino fought him. If everybody fought Sean O'Malley like Chris Mutino fought Sean O'Malley, it would not, like, none of Sean's tricks would work. You cannot allow him to get started. You have to be in his face constantly. You have to be pushing him up against the cage. You need him running away from you. Not stepping out, not keeping distance, not controlling the pace. You need him in a place where he's like, oh shit, I gotta get out of here. Excuse me. You're married. Did you find a small town girl? I find big city women are whores. I mean, my wife is from Brazil. She's from the capital, Brasilia. So she is a city girl. But no, my wife is great. I love her. No, I'm not just saying that because she's right there. Are city women whores, baby? Do you know a bunch of hoes from the city?
No. Brazil is not really a big city.
Oh, I see. Well, if you find any, can I meet them?
No.
I love you so much. All I do is rage bait my wife, if that's not obvious, and it's so fun. I hope you guys find somebody you can rage bait like I rage bait my wife one day. But anyway, All right, so there hasn't been too much going on. I've been kind of ignoring this fight for the last minute and a half or so. They're both twitchy. They're quick, but they're not really landing anything. It's because they're trying to get each other's timing down, as well as make sure that they have their distance management in check. I don't know who I would give this round to right now. I guess I don't know who I'd give it to. There's a cross to the body from Sean. There's a kick to the body that slides off from Sean, partially deflected. Oh, yeah, it looked like a good tee from Sean. There's a kick from Song. Sean and Song are just like they're just similar enough. So there was a cross up the middle from Sean O'Malley that dinged Song Yadong on the head. See, Song needs to to sum up what I'm trying to say about how you have to fight Sean O'Malley is you need to turn it into a back alley brawl. You need to turn it into a street fight. You're not gonna outpoint him from the outside. That was a nice kick from Song Yadong. He ends up throwing that low kick, and there is a takedown off of a kick from Sean O'Malley. Song Yadong on top. Sean O'Malley has a guillotine. No, he had a guillotine, but it wasn't locked up fully, and Song Yadong ended up settling in on that top guard position. For some reason, Sean is just kind of like he's kind of upset. I don't know why. He's like, whoa, as if that wasn't supposed to happen, as if this isn't part of the sport. I don't know what that is for, but that was a good takedown from Song Yadong. I think that might be enough to give him the round, especially because they're ending with Sean O'Malley on his back. It's tough to say who I'd give that round to because, truth be told, nobody really landed anything too crazy. You saw Sean land a few, you saw Song land a few, but it's like I feel like it was kind of even. I think that takedown may have given Song Yadong the edge in that round, at least by my standard, by my estimation, if you will. There we go. Perfect. Ooh. Yeah, Sean had a guillotine, and it was not looking good for Song for like a few seconds of that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna like when I say I give it to Song Yadong, it's like I mean maybe. It's more of a maybe. Like I could see why you would give him that round. There's a kick to start off with Song. Ooh, trading kicks, and O'Malley stumbles off of that second kick. Ooh, there's an overhand swing and a miss from Song Yadong. Ooh. Song tries to throw a leg kick. O'Malley fades away from it. Ooh, that was a hard shot. It did not land, but you could hear that. Looks like Song Yadong's kind of starting to find his timing and his rhythm here. You're seeing him. He's countered multiple kicks, either with kicks of his own or punches. That time he threw a couple of punches off of a partially caught teep. Ooh, there's a leaping left hook into a kick. There's a lead, not a lead, like a rear teep from Sean O'Malley. It is partially caught by Song Yadong. There's a kick attempt. Sean gets out of the way of. Sean has slowed down a lot. I think he's kind of stumped a little bit because every time he throws a kick, he ends up paying for it in some way. That's not a good feeling when something that you're really relying on to win a fight is not getting in there for free. Ooh, there's a left hook from Song. It does not appear to have landed. And that's exactly what I'm talking about. Every time he throws a front kick of any kind, whether it's a teep or you know, like trying to stomp the leg or anything like that, Sean O'Malley has the kick caught. And there is a single leg attempt from Song Yadong, and Sean is down. He's running him down to the mat. Um, Sean is back up to his feet. He is against the cage, however. Has to be very careful about that one. Sean back down to the mat, or at least his hands are back down to the mat. Song Yadong just sort of holding position right now, and he's kneeing Sean's legs right now. Sean just sort of holding position there right now. Both of them holding position. Sean just trying to survive from that position right now, hoping that it won't get any worse. Song Yadong tries to take down, does not work, and he gets a double leg. He drops his. Ooh, okay, we have rubber guard from O'Malley. So Song Yadong, he transitioned to a double leg off of the cage. He changed levels and he took him down, and now Sean is trapped in the guard position. There's not a whole lot that he can do. He tried to throw a leg over for what I would assume was going to be a triangle, and he is back up. He scrambles to his feet. Ooh, that was a nice left hook to the head from Song Yadong. Seems like Sean is just figured out right now. You know, it seems like Song Yadong is settled in. It seems like he's just flowing right now. You know, he knows Sean wants to throw those kicks. He knows he wants to keep him at a certain range. So he's waiting for those kicks to come in, and he's batting them away, and he's attacking off of that. It's kind of like waiting for a jab to come out, and then you move in off the jab. You know, there's a short right hand from Song Yadong, but then there's a big right hand from Song Yadong, and it looks like O'Malley capitalized off of that. I think he hit him with a lead left. Excuse me, a lead left. You know, nothing really lands there. Ooh, nothing from that exchange either. A couple of punches, a couple of kicks. Yeah, Song Yadong is pressuring with distance, but he's being pretty that punch did land from Sean. Sean threw a cross right up the middle and he landed. In that round, Song was pressuring with distance. He was making Sean O'Malley uncomfortable with just the distance that he was keeping. And Song Yadong was he was picking his moments, you know. He was pressuring, but he was still patient. So, you know, that's definitely a Song Yadong round, you know. My friend put a $30 my friend put $30, bro better win. Oh, $300. Your bro put down $300. Oof. You know. I bet on the Patriots game tomorrow, and the only reason I did that is because I had a spare $50 sitting in my call sheet account. I downloaded Call Sheet and I fucked around with it a little bit, and I won a couple of bets. I won a couple of prop bets, but most of them I lost. And when I got bored of that, I was like, okay, yeah, fuck it, whatever. I mean, I guess I can keep this $50 here. So I mean, you know, if there's ever anything I want to bet on, sure enough, the Patriots are playing tomorrow, and they're a favorite to win. So I figured, whatever, you know, take the fucking Pats, kid. So again, Song Yadong just kind of standing in front of him right now, you know, pressuring with distance, you know. it's never fun when you get somebody who knows how to weaponize distance. That's something that Nate Diaz was really good at. That's something that what's his face? Tony Ferguson is very good at. He's always right in front of you. You never have a second where he can't hit you. He's always right fucking there. And when you're someone like Sean O'Malley who wants to fight from the outside, that's really, really bad. You know, I was saying, excuse me, I was saying, I almost burped up my fucking dinner. Ooh, that was an inner leg kick. Ooh, another one from Song Yadong. Anyway, I was saying that Song Yadong needs to turn this into a street fight, right? And he didn't turn it into a street fight. He just did exactly the reason why he needed to turn it into a street fight. And what I mean by that is the reason why you would turn it into a street fight is because the last thing Sean O'Malley wants is that constant you being on top of him, you moving forward, you making him uncomfortable, so he has to reset sort of situation. But Song Yadong was able to not have to turn it into a fucking brawl, while still being able to utilize that distance as a weapon. So that's really good for him. That's really good. You know, I'm curious how his wrestling is because as we know, Marab is kind of looking unstoppable right now. Um, you know, I would. Oh wait, Marab. No, fucking Peter. Fuck, Peter Yan beat Marab recently. I forgot about that. That's one of the last fight companions we did last year. Silly me. Um, I do wonder how he's looking. I don't know if he's gonna have to fight Marab after this. If Song Yadong does take this third round, you know, if he does survive this third round, I don't see how he could not win this. There's a cross followed by another cross from Sean O'Malley. The first one lands, second one does not. Um, I do wonder how he will have. I do wonder if he will have to fight Marab, and I wonder how his wrestling is. You know, um, oh, running in for that double leg takedown. Sean O'Malley gets out of the way, and Song Yadong literally falls over. Couple of jabs from Sean O'Malley, and you see that's what he's needed this whole time. Was instead of throwing the kicks, which were being stopped, he needed to really use that jab. Needed to use double jab, triple jab. There's a nice cross up the middle from Sean O'Malley. It almost seems like he's starting to get his footing a little bit, you know. Um, you see, if Song is in a range to get kicked, that means he's probably waiting for you to kick so that he can catch the kick and go. It's when he's in a range that he can be punched that Sean is going to do some of his best work right now, and that's where you're starting to see him have a little bit more. He's having a little bit more success this round. You know, is he going to win this round? I don't know. Maybe he will. Maybe he won't. But I still think Song Yadong takes the fight. You know, even if it's 2 rounds to one. You know, black belt, Brazilian wife. You study BJJ. I'm assuming. Yeah, yeah. I got my black belt last year. It was June 1st of 2025. Oh, we got a takedown attempt, single leg. Oh, Sean is out of there. He throws a jab cross. I don't know if they landed. He throws a knee up the middle that definitely did not land. There's a jab. We got 30 seconds left in this fight. Sean's really gonna have to do something spectacular, or else I don't think he's gonna take this home. I gotta be honest with you, you know. Ooh, there's an overhand that seems to have landed from Song Yadong. There's a spinning back kick from Song Yadong. Ooh, cross up the middle, kick. Oh, looked like he slipped. So yeah, I mean, it's like I said, like if I had to give it to somebody, I might give it to Song Yadong because in that first round he had that takedown. Ooh, that knee up the middle landed. Okay, I didn't think that knee up the middle landed or anything like that. You know, um, Man, that's crazy. The gyms here like $600 a month. Where are your gyms? Where do you do shit? You know. Um, their gyms are super expensive, and BJJ doesn't look fun. Yeah, I mean, not everybody loves jujitsu. I didn't love jujitsu when I first started. I was a wrestler, so you know, anytime someone told me I had to be on my back, it was just not comfortable for me, and I did not, you know, I didn't take to it too well. But eventually, I found a love for it. You know, what was I gonna say? But yeah, it is like you know, um, jujitsu is becoming McDojo-ified, and when I say that, I don't mean necessarily that people are learning bad technique or anything like that. What I mean is you're starting to see money grubbing dudes who like on one hand, you don't open a gym just because you're trying to do fucking charity, right? An MMA gym, a jujitsu gym, any kind of combat sports gym is going to be a business. That's just the way that it is, you know. But there's a difference between treating it like a business and running it like one, and being like all for the fucking all for the cash, all for the money and shit like that, you know. You know. Um, you could have anywhere between like 150 and like hold on. Oh, they gave it a Sean, huh? Yeah. I'm not like angry about that. You know, I'm not like angry about that necessarily, you know. I have Jack Doherty bots in my fucking in my kick chat. This stream is bad. Watch me instead at Jack Doherty. Oh boy, I'd love to bump into Jack Doherty. That'd be fun as fuck. Um, it's Sean O'Malley's voice is so fucking funny, dude. He's got the funniest voice. He's got he's got Brockton, Massachusetts white boy look. Like, do you know what I'm talking about, baby? Like, you ever seen white dudes from Brockton, Mass? They wear the they're not even snapbacks. They wear the fitted caps with the flat brim. You know, they have shirts that say like full blooded Irish on them, and like they talk like they're a black dude from 2006. You know, that's what you know, my ex, the R one, you know, the retarded one, fucking just kidding. That's all of them. Yeah, no, but the you know the R one, the one with the R name, um, like her fucking baby daddy like shoots me messages on Facebook one day. This is a dude from Hanover. Hanover's a nice town, and yet for some like rich people live there, and yet for some reason this dude wants to be a wigger. He's like, "Yo, what's good? Why you talking to Shorty?" I was like, "Yo, is this kid serious? Is this kid fucking serious?" I was like, yo, she was being a fucking asshole to me. I happened to go into the Dunks she worked at, and I asked for a chocolate chip muffin, and she gives me a blueberry muffin. And the next day, after I thought it was just a mistake, I didn't know she specifically picked out the blueberry muffin. I asked for a chocolate chip muffin, and she's like, blueberry, blueberry, give him a blueberry, give him a blueberry. And I was like, wow, she's really that petty. Didn't she just have a kid? She's fucking around at her job like that. What an idiot. So I tried to be nice and hit her up and be like, yo, let's just be polite here. The only reason I stop at that Dunks is because I don't want to have to go all the way to the other one. All right. I figured we could be cool and just at least ignore each other. And that's when he's hitting me up like, yo, why you talking to Shorty? And I was just like, you fucking I would break your leg and beat you with it. You fucking idiot. Absolutely stupid. Oh, I thought that was Jorge Masvidal. That's fucking what's his face? That guy. The 30 seconds to Mars guy. Jared Leto. They they showed Jared Leto and they showed Jared Leto. I thought that was fucking I thought that was fucking I thought it was Jorge Masvidal. Holy shit. Um I met a wigger from Andover, dude. I'm sure you did. You know, it's crazy. But yeah, Sean O'Malley has that like has that Brockton wigger sort of look to him, you know. And he's even got the voice. He's got the physiognomy. He's got the everything, you know. OJ is goaded. What do you? Who are you talking to that talk shit about juice? I do like OJ. OJ is nice. Craving chocolate is a magnesium deficiency, or you're just fucking fat. You know, I crave chocolate a lot. I'm sure my magnesium's just fine. I just like sugar. I just really like sugar. Um, say what you want, but O'Malley's style is really fun when he gets going. He is a fan friendly fighter. I will say that much. I will say that much. He is fun to watch. He is fun to watch. You know. All right. So here we have Patty Pimblet versus Justin Gaethje, and we're gonna see how this works. We're gonna see how this happens here. Um, Scott, should I steal my roommate's chocolate? Yes, every time. Peyton Talbot is a better Sean O'Malley. Doesn't that dude watch Fish Tank? Wasn't that dude a Fish Tank fan too? I'm pretty sure that dude was a Fish Tank fan. If I like Drake May, does that mean I crave a Super Bowl win? Of course. Of course. Um Oh, YouTube always bashes OJ. Oh, the sugar, but it has many vitamins. Yeah, like OJ's good for you. I don't give a fuck what YouTube says. I don't care what anyone says. Patty Pimblet versus making weight. Did Patty Pimblet make miss weight? Did he miss weight for this? Yeah, he mentioned it on Ariel Helwani. He really mentioned Fish Tank on Ariel Helwani. That's fucking hilarious. That's funny as shit. Hell yeah. Looking around right now. Man. Yeah, like jujitsu though, it is becoming commercialized, and because of that, you got a lot of dudes that they start up gyms as a means to like try and get like tech bros to come to their shit, and because of that, they have like mad expensive like shit. Like jujitsu, jujitsu was like a rich Brazilian thing, but there was still a grittiness to it. There was still a down to earthness about jujitsu, you know? Cuz like you had to be able to pay the instructor, and you also had to pay for the gi. And I'm sure there were other things that you had to pay for. Like it was not cheap, like a lot of Brazilians simply could not afford to do something like Brazilian jiu-jitsu. It just would not work out that way, right? Oh, excuse me. But there was still like a pragmatism. There was still like a hey, like we're doing this. We're warriors here, and like that's why even though I popped my shoulder and I couldn't move my arm, I still tried to do that second match at the Naga that I went to a couple of months ago, because like when you're a black belt, you can't afford to be like, no, I'm injured. It's like, well, was a bone broken? Was there a torn ligament that you can tell? Like, it's like heavily apparent? No. Well, shit. fucking get your ass in there. That's like, I didn't have to do that, but I would have felt weird knowing that, like, I'm looking at myself in a black belt and I was like, oh, well, I mean, I had 3 other limbs. Why didn't I keep fighting? You know? Like, there is in jujitsu, at least there is supposed to be, and there was for a long time, sort of a warrior spirit that does not exist there anymore, for the fact that, like, now a lot of celebrities are into jujitsu. A lot of tech bros are into jujitsu. A lot of guys that are like, yeah, I just do it for fun, are into jujitsu. It's not dudes that were like, yeah, I want to learn how to fight so I can, like, be an MMA fighter or anything like that, or like, yeah, I want to get really good at jujitsu so I can go compete on the world stage and not pull guard on the world stage, like that type of shit. Excuse me. Um, but like, the Redditification of jujitsu has had very big consequences on um a lot of things regarding jujitsu. The Redditification of the sport has had severe consequences, and it sucks. It really does suck. Another thing is, there's a war on warm-ups in the jiu-jitsu world that is really weird to me. And it's because tech bros can't do anything that's not, like, fun, you know? They can't do anything that's not, like, really, really fun to them. So, like, you take that impatience and you combine it with, like, their tech bro, um you take that impatience and you combine it with that tech bro superiority complex, where they think you need them for everything, and all of a sudden you have some dude who's been training for like a year who's like, actually, I don't even think we need to do warm-ups. I think we could warm up by, like, drilling, or we could warm up by, like, rolling light, or we could warm up with a game. I saw people playing, like, handball on a jujitsu mat with their gis on, and that was like the warm up. They warmed up with a game, and it's like, okay, fine, I'm sure it's fun, but, like, again, like, the only reason that started is because you had some fucking asshole who, like, he thinks because he makes 6 figures doing software development, that he fucking knows anything about anything other than that, you know, and that bothers me. That annoys the fuck out of me. Just because you're vice president of dick sucking at fucking Dumbass Incorporated, that doesn't mean you get to come into my gym and tell me about how, oh, well, actually, I think it's better to do this. It's like, you know what I think is better? I think it'd be better if you got the fuck out of here. I think you should leave. We'll do things the way I want to do it. If you don't like it, find somewhere that'll do it the way you want to do it. And you will not get as good as you want to, because you're not doing what you need to be doing. You're doing what you want to be doing. And unfortunately for you, jujitsu is about what you need to be doing, not what you want to be doing. That's literally from the beginning, from the very beginning. The first thing I was told in jujitsu, I've had tons of different black belts who have taught me tons of different things. Each one of my black belts only told, if they only told me one thing, it would have been that you gotta do shit you don't want to do. If you like to shoot in for takedowns, you got to get some practice pulling guard. I know you don't like pulling guard. That's why you got to practice it, because you don't like it very much. You got to do it. If you don't have good shrimps, you got to put yourself in positions where you got to shrimp. You got to get you got to get that drilling in. You got to get those shrimps in. You don't like it, you're not good at it. Well, that's why you got to do it. You know. But you got all these dudes who, like, they're Johnny come latelys. They've been in the sport for, like, fucking, like, they just got the first stripe on their blue belt, and now they're trying to act like they fucking know anything. And it's like, shut up. I don't give a fuck. And they'll appeal to authority too. Gordon Ryan's a dummy. John Danaher's a dummy. I don't give a fuck that he's got a philosophy degree. Philosophy is a useless degree. I don't give a fuck how good at jujitsu they are. They're fucking idiots. They're bad for the sport, and it's just no good. It's just no good what's happening. You know, I don't even think Gordon Ryan is the worst either. Like you have worse dudes like Mikey Musumeci and shit like that. The reason I don't like Gordon Ryan is because for one thing, he thinks he knows more than he does about fighting, when really he's too afraid to do anything other than jujitsu. And then also the steroids thing. That's a big piece of it too. But when it comes to dudes like Mikey Musumeci and shit like that, it's like, get out of my face. Shut the fuck up. You don't know anything. I don't give a fuck how good you are at leg locks. You don't know anything. You're a dummy. You fucking moron. You know? Not gonna lie, I joined a BJJ gym just to have girls wrap their legs around me. Yeah, that gets old after like the third time. You're rolling with the girl and you're like, oh dude, it's a girl, haha. Oh man. Oh, oops. I fucking like I went too easy on her, and because of that she got a fucking armbar. And now she thinks she's hot shit because I went easy on her. That's another thing is jujitsu girls is like they don't know what they want, you know. And you gotta tiptoe around them, but you can't make the tiptoeing too obvious, because if it's too obvious, then they'll get mad at you for the tiptoeing. But then if you're like, oh, they don't want me to tiptoe, okay, I guess I better go a little bit harder. When you're not letting them get over on you, all of a sudden you're going too hard and you have a problem with girls. Like I've seen it happen so many times. There's so many women that I've seen where it's like they expect you to let them win, but not by too much. It's I heard a story about Kim Jong Il. Right, there was this Japanese dude. He was a chef. Patty Pimblet is having a little too much fun right now. He's having a little bit too much fun right now. He's got to take it down a notch, man. Take it down a notch. But anyway, um, I heard a story about Kim Jong Il, right? There was this Japanese dude. His name was like Fujimoto or something like that. He was Kim Jong Il's personal chef. And he was actually Kim Jong Il's, or at least one of Kim Jong Il's only friends, like friends, not just yes man. And he would he ingratiated himself to Kim Jong Il by like actually not being like just a yes man. Like there was a story about jet skiing, right? They jet ski on this river or something like that, and every time he would race, meaning Kim Jong Il, every time Kim Jong Il would race somebody on the jet ski, they'd let him win by a country mile because they're afraid to beat the supreme leader. Fujimoto, though, he would beat Kim Jong Il just by a little bit, just by a little bit. And that way, it made it entertaining and fun, and there was actually something on the line for Kim Jong Il, but he didn't blow him out and completely embarrass him. If anything, he kind of made it look like it was a situation where he just got lucky or something like that. That's how women want you to behave in the martial arts world. And that's why training with women can sometimes be a bit of a chore. I'm not saying it's always bad. I'm not saying all women are awful in the martial arts world. I'm just saying that is kind of the way it is, where like you have to let them win, but not make it too obvious you're letting them win. Because if it's too obvious you're letting them win, well, then they're going to be like, you're just letting me win because I'm a girl. I don't need you to coddle me. I'm not some helpless princess. I'm a strong, independent, I'm a badass woman is what I am. And then you're like, okay, and you kick it up by like 10%, and that's too much for them. And now they're like, you're just trying to beat me up because you have a thing about women. You just don't like women. You think you can tool on me because I'm a girl. I'm just a girl. Like literally, like I've known people who do that. They're like, because I'm a girl. They say it like GURL. Like you just have a thing against girls, don't you? You just want to wail on me because I'm a girl. And it's like, to hear that, it's like I just want to be like, no, you're the problem, get the fuck out. It's never been said to me directly, because again, that's another thing too, is they're not going to confront you directly because it's a woman, you know? They're going to talk shit about you behind your back. I know this because if it happens with somebody else, I end up fucking hearing about it either directly or indirectly. I got to listen to somebody be like, I think he has something against girls. It's like, fucking A, dude. You know? Is grappling with girls worse in wrestling or BJJ? It's worse in BJJ for sure, because at least wrestling, everybody kind of knows what they're getting into. Um, and with wrestling, like, you can be a little bit like more rough with the girl, because that's the thing too, is like jujitsu is like, there's a lot of hobbyists in jujitsu, meaning there's a lot of people who they will never actually compete. If you're wrestling, you're competing. There's no hobbyist wrestlers. So it's kind of understood that if someone's going a little hard on you, they're just trying to make sure that you're ready for the competition, you know? And if somebody's going hard on you in the competition, it's just because they're trying to win, you know? But every now, if there's one thing I hate about wrestling when it comes to girls, when it comes to girls, when it comes to girls, if there's one thing I hate about wrestling, it's the way that men and women are different. There's dimorphism. And because of that, the average 17 or 18-year-old man is not 103 pounds. What you have, though, is you have women who they're 17 or 18 years old. They're effectively grown adults, and they will be closer to 103 or 106 pounds, whatever the bottom weight classes are. I think it's like 106, 113, 120 something, right? It's those three, right? You have women who are 17 or 18 years old wrestling against very underdeveloped 13 and 14-year-old boys, dudes that are late bloomers. They have not hit puberty yet. By all means, even though they're teenagers, they're still very much children. And these women will have pretty good success against these men. And you have situations where, like, because an adult woman is beating a child in a fight, you see it gets published in your local newspaper. It gets published in your local newspaper. It makes one of the local media outlets talking about girl power bullshit. It's like, well, yeah, of course. You're like, I would, I like, I don't like. Give me Brock Lesnar's son. Give me, give me Brock Lesnar's son. I'd beat the fuck out of him if he was 14 years old. Be- because because of course he's 14 years old. I'm a grown man. you know? It's like fuck. But that's my gripe with women in wrestling. I am happy to see that women are wrestling more. I think wrestling is a good activity for women. Um and like, I think it's cool that you're starting to see women's teams and women's tournaments and stuff like that at the high school level. I think that's really cool. But it is annoying to see people, especially on the internet. You have these girls who, like, again, they're 14 years old and they're wrestling against a kid who's like fucking like 12 years old or something like that, or like, again, like a 17-year-old kid wrestling against a 14-year-old kid, 17 18-year-old adult, by all means, wrestling off against like a 14-year-old kid, underdeveloped. And you have the parents on the sidelines with their phones, like, yeah, get him, honey, haha. And then they post it to the internet, and everybody in the comment section is like, that kid learned a valuable lesson today. And it's like, what lesson is that? That an adult is gonna beat up a child? That being a man is shameful? That if you're a man, everybody hates you just because you're a man? What that what he's supposed to learn? Because that's the only thing he's gonna learn in that situation, is that wrestling sucks because everybody's an asshole. And yeah, obviously an adult is gonna beat a child, and I don't see why I have to be made fun of for that, but I guess everybody's making fun of me for it. So I think I don't want to fucking, I almost said fight. I don't think I want to wrestle anymore. And in addition to that, I think that, like, women are just evil. So yeah, fuck that. You know, it's it's a lot of bullshit. It's annoying. Women's feet are like our balls, the most sensitive part. Is that true, baby? It's women's feet are like men's balls. They're the most sensitive part. Is that true?
No.
So next time I'm mad at you, I can just like bop on your foot,
Yeah, go ahead.
and you're I'm gonna be like, huh, on your foot, and you're gonna grab your crotch and like double over in pain.
Exactly. That's what happened.
I'm gonna be like, what's the capital of Thailand? You're gonna be like Bangkok, and I'm gonna stomp on your foot.
Is it not?
I had a few matches against girls. It was a bit awkward, but it was competition, so it was a bit less awkward rushing the wind. Yeah, oh yeah, of course. Nobody wants to be the guy that loses to a girl. Unfortunately, sometimes the odds are stacked in her favor. That's just the way it is. It is what it is. What you gonna do? But like, I think it's evil. I think it's disgusting when you have people who are like, yeah, girl power, when it's like, no, it's not girl power. It's what happens when you put an adult against a child. You know, when I was 14 years old, I bet my mom could have did a fucking number on me. Then again, I don't know. Maybe not. I was 170 pounds at 14 years old. I was a big dude and I didn't even realize it. Anyway, so we have the beginning of this fight right now. It started off with a kick from Pimblet. Patty Pimblet got his hands down. That makes me a little bit nervous. I'm not gonna lie. Justin Gaethje is known for throwing bombs. He's got to be very careful not to get backed up against that cage, because if he does, he's gonna have nowhere to go, and he's gonna end up getting caught, which is something that Justin Gaethje is very well known for doing. We got a calf kick from Pimblet. Traded a couple of jabs there. There's another calf kick attempt from Pimblet. Ooh, there's an uppercut followed by a hook from Pimblet. Didn't really land, it looks like, and there was a rear hook from Gaethje that looked like it landed. There was a jab to the body that interrupted. Wow, that was crazy from Patty Pimblet. The fucking literally throwing like that. That is insane. Um, anyway, there was a jab from Justin Gaethje that interrupted Patty Pimblet's kick. Ooh, okay. So these hands from Patty Pimblet are pretty insane. I don't know who the hell is teaching him to box like that, but that's pretty crazy. But one thing I did like was seeing the knee up the middle, because Justin Gaethje is known for leading with his head. Oh, this might be it. This might be it. Patty Pimblet takes a shot. He's trying to get back up to his feet right now. He's kind of trapped right now. He's in a turtle position. He's doing a good job of tying up Justin Gaethje's hands right now. Patty Pimblet just trying his best to kind of relax, stay relaxed here, and he is on his back as Justin Gaethje steps off. Ooh, there was an uppercut from Patty Pimblet. If there's one thing Patty Pimblet's doing good, it is making sure to utilize Gaethje's leaning tendency. Gaethje has a tendency to lean and lead with his head. He threw a knee up the middle, and then he threw an uppercut that landed when Gaethje ducked into it. So that's pretty good. There's something weird about Patty where, like, you see how he's like here like this. That's strange to me. I don't even know what just happened. He fell over. Oh, there's a knee up the middle, followed by a slapping left hook. Ooh, an uppercut that definitely hurt Justin. There's no way that didn't hurt him at least a little bit. Ooh, okay. There's a cross. There's a cross that lands on Justin from Patty Pimblet. I was just about to say, it seems like Justin Gaethje is not too phased. Patty has hit him with some clean shots, and he's still moving forward. He's even gotten hit and started talking a little bit of shit there. Oh, Justin Gaethje has the back right now. He's got a body lock on the back. We're gonna see what happens there. Patty turning in. His back is to the cage now. And he has a collar tie on him right now. Ooh, there's a knee up the middle. Does not quite land. Ooh, there is an overhand. Big swing and a miss from Pimblet. And he pays for that a little bit with Justin returning. Patty is able to land clean. Like, that was a nice uppercut. There's a jab cross. I don't think landed. But Patty's landing kicks. There's a kick right there. Teep. Patty's landing things that are right. Patty's landing that uppercut. He's throwing knees that are a little bit nerve wracking. You know. Yeah, we got an eye poke right now. You know, it's kind of a hectic fight right now. It is kind of a hectic fight. It's kind of tough to tell what's going to happen at any given moment. Because it could end at any time. Like Justin Gaethje's known for having that knockout power. But Paddy Pimblett's doing a good job of disrupting any kind of flow that he has. You know, it's just when is that not going to work for Paddy is kind of the question. You know, I also wonder if Paddy's going to be able to use his jiu-jitsu at all. You know, take Justin down. You see, the thing is, Justin Gaethje is known for his striking, but he was a D1 wrestler out of I think he was a D1 wrestler at a school in like Arizona or New Mexico or something like that. You know, he wrestled D1 in college though. Ooh, there's a two hook combination from Pimblet to start it back off. Ooh, there is a lead leg high kick that Gaethje leaned into a little bit. Couple of leg kicks from Pimblet as well. Gaethje coming in. Ooh, looked like he landed an overhand. Ooh, he definitely landed an overhand. Paddy throwing volume though, and then he clinches to try and negate any firefight that he could be in. His back is against the cage right now. Talking about Pimblet, you know, Gaethje's trying his best to dirty box right now. And ooh, that was a dangerous position to be in for Paddy Pimblet with that collar tie. The way he let that go, he could have easily taken that. He wrestled Northern Colorado. Ah, really? I mean, whether he was an All American or not, that doesn't even really matter, you know, because being able to wrestle Division 1, you know, it's like if you made it to the MLB but you weren't the MVP. It's like, well, you fucking made it. You made it to the MLB. That's no joke. Oh, he was born November 14th. That was the day before me. Except he was also born in '88. Interesting. Yeah, so he was born in Arizona. Yeah, and he did wrestle he did wrestle D1. Yeah, there's that uppercut to put him on the ground. The way he went down off of that uppercut, I thought that might have been the end of the fight. You know, I think he was out of position. I think that's really what it was. But the way he fell back was like, ooh, this is gonna be a quick fight, isn't it? I don't know who I'd give that round to. It was a pretty close round. I guess you would have to give it to Gaethje because of the knockdown. You know, at best it would be like a 9-9 round or something like that. I don't know. Oh, that looked like a jab to negate the level change there. Ooh, those are some hard hooks that got traded. There's a ooh, there's inner leg kick followed by some jabs. See, okay. We have a front headlock position. Snap down from the front headlock, and Pimblet's got to be careful here because he does not want to end up getting thrown in a guillotine or a darce or an anaconda. You know, anything like that. He's got to be very careful to protect that. He could try to sucker drag out of this. He could try to sit out. Um, you know, we'll see what he does. There's a good chance he'll probably just try and stall there a little bit. So Gaethje lets him out, and they Pimblet punches on the break. Pimblet's been throwing leg kicks this whole time, which is good for him. Obviously, there was a jab off of that last leg kick. I wonder. Oh, there's a kick to the body from. Oh, a fall by a kick to the head from Pimblet. Paddy's really favoring those kicks. Ooh, there's a short inside. There's a short left hook to the inside and a knee up the middle to try and catch Gaethje leaning again. Ooh, uppercut stands Gaethje up, but he ends up unleashing 3 punches. I don't think any of them really landed. Patty's got to be very careful there. Ooh, there's a nice short uppercut from Gaethje as well. Gaethje's starting to find his mark. It's just Patty's kind of finding his mark too, and Patty's been finding his mark a little bit better this whole fight. Like, yeah, there was that knockdown in the first round, but like Patty's been a little bit more consistent is kind of what I'm trying to say. I feel that Gaethje is becoming a little bit more consistent, but we're gonna see if he can keep continuing that. Oh, tried to sweep him. Paddy Pimblet tried to sweep Gaethje off of the fence with his back to the fence, meaning. There's an overhand from Paddy Pimblet. Gaethje trying to return. Nothing lands from either of them. There's that uppercut that's been money for Paddy Pimblet this whole time. Paddy, like, I get nervous whenever I see Paddy in that tie plum. I think against anybody else it would be a good idea, but against Gaethje, all I see is an overhand right knocking Paddy's head off when they disengage from it. It's kind of nerve wracking. So we have that front headlock position again with the snap down. Gonna see if Gaethje can do anything with it. I want to see if Gaethje will circle to the back. Still in the same position, Justin just trying his best to maintain the top position here. Oh, we have Paddy back up to his feet. Something just happened. I don't know what. Maybe it was a knee or something. Paddy. I saw what looked like a jolt from impact, and then Paddy just kind of fell, and then Justin backed off him. I don't know exactly what that was. I'm kind of confused by that. Oh, 44 seconds left. Paddy is in some trouble here. I don't think this is the end of it right now. I think he just got put on his butt, but we're gonna see here. Looks like there might be a cut forming, or at the very least a mouse on a Pimblet's right eye. Paddy trying to get to his hands and knees right now. As we reach 10 seconds, there's some up kicks followed by some vicious ground and pound from Gaethje. Some landing, some not. That one landed, that one landed, that one landed, and that is the end of round 2. And we are going to see what happens in the next round. And yes, there was a cut over the eye. Looks like over the eye of Pimblet. Nothing too crazy, though. They could easily patch that up. That's not going to be a fight ender or anything like that. A little blood coming out of the nose, too. So yeah, I mean, it's kind of like I was saying, like Paddy Pimblet, he's been a little bit more consistent, but when Gaethje lands, he really lands, and that was the second knockdown of the fight. That's got to count for something, it's got to count for something. I don't know how these rounds are going to be scored. It is tough, I guess we're gonna have to see, but I think Pimblet. Oh, okay. There was a thumb to the eye too. That was I got to be honest with you, man. That didn't look like a mistake. You see, what happened, right, is Justin, he threw a punch, but he opened up the eye like this. He didn't turn the punch out. There was no, like, it really wasn't even a punch. I really think Justin purposefully threw a thumb to the eye. Which that is a little weird. I got to be honest with you. That is a little strange because I never thought Justin Gaethje would be the type of guy to do that, and I've never heard him doing something like that before. But yeah, that to me looked like a pretty obvious thumb to the eye here, and it's interesting that now Justin's coming out with a renewed zeal, and Pimblet, in the first 30 to 40 seconds of this fight, he just wiped that eye again. He wiped that eye again like he's still not completely like good. Like he's not 100%, you know? That's no small thing, even if it was a mistake. That's the second eye poke of the fight, too, mind you. The first one you could tell that had to have been an accident, but that second one, no. Like, if you're gonna try and poke somebody in the eye, that's how they used to do it in boxing too. Back before they had the gloves with the piece of with the thread here that keeps you from opening up the thumb. Dudes used to throw like that, hoping to hit the eye. You know, that's really weird to me. That is very weird to me. I got to be honest with you. Somebody just took a shot. There's a kick from Pimblet. Yeah, I mean, I think Patty needs to get his jab going. I think he needs to not get walked up against the cage. He's got to circle a little bit more. He's got to get on his horse. I don't think he's gonna hurt Justin, or if he does, it's gonna be a very particular shot there. I don't think his right hand has what it takes to hurt him either. The way he's throwing his right hand like that, that's like he must have learned that at fucking O Block or something like that. That's that's how dudes in the ghetto box. That's dudes in the ghetto throw hands like that. They literally throw hands like they're throwing a fucking baseball. It's insane. Excuse me. But ooh, okay. Trading punches there. Looked like it was either a hook or a jab that snapped Gaethje's head. There's a teep. Oh, hey, there's a high kick. There's been a lot of lead leg high kicks lately, and I gotta say, I'm a fan. I love the hell out of those things. I've landed those in multiple fights, and they're very underutilized. Ooh, there's a cross up the middle from Justin Gaethje that lands, followed by a jab. Oh, hey, switching into that body kick. There's a jab from Pimblet. Seems like it landed. Kick. You're starting to see some stiffness from Justin Gaethje. You can see he's a little heavy on that front leg, mainly because he keeps getting fucking kicked there. And you're starting to see Patty. He's been doing this the whole fight, but he's really switching up where he's throwing to. And I think the foundation of this working right now is really cross up the middle from Patty, who switched to a okay, double jab cross from Patty with Gaethje returning. Yeah, Gaethje's leg. He doesn't have too many more of those. He doesn't have too many more of those kicks that he can take. If I was Patty's corner, I'd be calling for that leg kick more and more. You can see, yeah, Gaethje is not he's not having a good time in there right now. He is you can see he's starting to kind of crumble just a little bit. Apparently that may not have been a cup shot. I don't know. We'll see. Let's see here. Bang. Yeah. That was like the top of the cup. That's like the top of the cup. You know, that'll hurt. That'll get you. You know. I could see why Patty thought that was not a cup shot, because it wasn't his knee that landed on the cup. It was more like the top of his shin. Oh yeah, there's another kick. Yeah, Gaethje is a little bit more timid, and when he does throw, he's not moving forward. You can tell those kicks are really starting to add up. Pimblet's kind of landing at will too. This is an ugly fight right now. These dudes are not pretty fighters. They are not pretty. They do not look the most technically efficient, but they will really fucking scrap. So that's good for them. We got some leg kicks from Gaethje. Ooh, that was a nice cross. That was a nice cross from Gaethje. I'm surprised that didn't end the fight right there. You know, the thing about leg kicks is that if you keep getting kicked to the leg, it even makes it harder to throw punches. You know, it takes quite a bit off of your punches when you don't have a proper base. So yeah, I am surprised that shot didn't end the fight, but that's probably why it didn't end the fight. You know, Justin is backing him up, and not so much anymore. I don't know. I don't know if he said that in the first or the second round, Spoonie Peterson, but I don't think he's backing him up much anymore. Which was the more egregious eye? Which was more egregious, the eye poke or that knee? The eye poke for sure. You know, I don't think Patty meant to go that low. I think it just kind of happened. You know, and like I said, I think he didn't think it was a cup shot because he probably felt his knee sink in to flesh, not cup. But I think it was the top of his shin that caught the cup. That eye poke was really fucking suspect. I got to be honest with you. You know, I'd like to see a I'd like to see I'd like to see what's it called um replay. I'd like to see a replay of that eye poke because that was really suspect to me. So we're in the championship rounds right now. We're in round 4. Started off with a couple of jabs to the body from Patty Pimblet. You see Gaethje's showing that check. He's showing the check. He does not want to get kicked. When he thinks a kick is coming in, he's raising his leg to try and check the kick. And you can see he's trying to throw, but he's not able to move the way he needs to. And that's not going to get any better as the fight goes on. You know, you can see he does. Oh, okay, that was a nice shot right there. Oh, we are in that north south position again. We're gonna see. Patty Pimblett trying to stand up right now. His corner's commanding him to. He does have a cradle. DC said he has a cradle. Yeah. Oh, oh. Justin let him go, but he tried to get on him right away. Oh, oh, Justin caught a kick and he delivered a hard left hook to Patty, which knocked him on his butt. I think he's fine. I think it was because he got hit while he was on one leg. There is a piece of me that would like to see Patty Pimblett win because I want to see him move up more. You know, he's kind of one of those. He's kind of one of those Sean O'Malley guys where it's like I want to see him fight dudes that he is apparently supposed to be able to beat. You know, I want to see him either rise to the occasion and prove the hype correct, or I want to see him be exposed as a hype train. You know, and that was a nice overhand a second ago by Justin, which set up for the position we're in right now, where Patty is facing the cage. Now he is. Oh, those are some hard shots from Justin. More hard shots from Justin. Patty is trying to get away from there. Oh, hey, nice kick from Justin. We got to see more kicks from Patty. I think that's really been what has been. I think that's been his success this whole fight is those kicks. If he can just keep delivering those kicks, and for some reason, kickboxers are really good at keeping up kicks for the entire fight. But MMA guys, they start. Ooh, may have been a nut shot. May have been a nut shot. I'm not sure, but fucking when it comes to MMA guys, they start off strong with the kicks, and then right when the kicks really start to work, they abandon them and they try to go for the punches. You know, um, uh, jabs, jabs exchanged. I think Patty Pimblett got the better of that one. Oh, there's a jab, a stiff jab from Gaethje. Got a little bit under 120 left in this fourth round. I don't know why I thought it was round 3 again for a second. Nice combination from Patty. Nothing really changes. There's a jab from Gaethje. This is a war of attrition right now. These guys are really having a these guys are letting each other have it. They're throwing everything but the kitchen sink at each other. Oh, there's an attempt at a spinning back knee. What the fuck? Elbow. Excuse me. A spinning back knee. Holy shit. How would that even look? Ooh. Swings and misses from Gaethje. Meeting back in the middle of that octagon there. There's a teep from Paddy Pimblet. Speaking of back fists, it's funny how you've seen those come back in the UFC. Like, a lot of dudes, like, karate, if you throw a back fist like that, a lot of people are going to be like, nah, that's not worth it, you know? Ooh, nice. Oh, takedown from Justin Gaethje. Paddy Pimblet on his back, and he is getting up. Ooh, that was a nice shot from Gaethje. Another nice couple of shots there. Paddy Pimblet trying to get up. Whoa, that head kick came really fucking close. Man. I was gonna say, what a fight. What do you mean? That was round 4. Man, but yeah, it's funny to see the way back fists have come back into play where, like, because dudes are not throwing as hard as they can anymore, what's happening is they throw like a punch at like 70% and then they throw the back fist. Meanwhile, a lot of karate guys, they swear by the back fist, but like the way they throw it is just kind of bad. It's just not very good, you know? Um all right, here we are about to enter this last round and we're going to see who wants it more. I don't know who's winning right now. It's tough to say. I feel like maybe Gaethje is taking it right now. Maybe as of right now, it's Gaethje. I suppose we'll see though. You know, I think this round will be a big deciding factor. It's a jab from Pimblet, jab from Gaethje, and a right hook, an overhand right. Oh, Paddy Pimblet went for the takedown, landed a couple on the way out. Ooh, there's a knee up the middle from Pimblet. Ooh, that was a nice overhand from Justin Gaethje. Paddy Pimblet shows the takedown. He bails out on it, and he ends up against the cage with his back on it. Ooh, that was a nice short hook and another nice short right hand from Justin Gaethje. Justin Gaethje is really such a good dirty boxer. He's so good at that inside fighting, you know? Ooh, that was a nice jab cross, followed by another back fist by Patty. At least one or two of those got through. Jab to the body from Gaethje. Teep from Paddy Pimblet. Ooh, Patty tie hops his way in and he starts landing a few punches. Jab, swing and a miss from Justin. Oh, there's a takedown attempt, and Patty is not able to get it. He has a body lock on Justin, though. He can try and get more. He's got him up against the cage right now. He went in for that outside trip, and he just could not get it. You know, I think Justin was a little bit too, he had a little bit too much leverage on him. Right now, Patty's got him up against the cage. He's trying his best to find a way to take him down. There's a nice knee from Justin. Patty's got the double underhooks right now. You know, that's a good position for him to be in. He's trying to pull him off the cage to use that as a setup to try and hit the same takedown that Rose Namajunas hit a little bit earlier this in the night. And they are on the way out of that. Justin Gaethje trying to close distance, and now Paddy Pimblet is up against the cage right now. Man, this is a pretty good fight. We got 2 minutes left right now. You know, we're gonna see what happens. I'm pretty satisfied with this fight. You know, these guys are both leaving it out there. This is what MMA is supposed to be. It's supposed to be dudes going in there and leaving it all in the cage. You know, and they're both doing very well. This is a close fight. I do think that I do think that ooh, that's a nice overhand. Scott, are you on stimulants? No, I'm on autism. Fucking nah. I explained it earlier. I have a tic disorder that gets bad and then like it goes away. It doesn't go away per se. It gets lesser. It gets lesser, you know. I always have slight tics, but sometimes the tics get really fucking bad, and they've been really bad for the better part of a week. It can be related to stress sometimes. Ooh, okay. Paddy Pimblet letting Gaethje have it with a little bit over a minute left. Gaethje does not like this. Paddy realizes that when Gaethje tries to clinch and he puts him up against the cage. Paddy has absolutely got to work. He cannot afford to not work right now. He's got to pour it on because I do think they'll give it to Gaethje if it goes the distance, which it's looking like it might. Paddy absolutely needs a knockout or a submission, either one. He cannot compromise. 40 seconds left. Paddy is up against the cage, facing it. Gaethje has his back. But yeah, oh, that was a short uppercut from a weird angle. Paddy trying to take him down, just does not work. We got a little under 30 seconds. Oh, man. Looking like we might. 10 seconds. These guys are gonna let each other have it. Oh, somebody got it. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh man. I think Justin Gaethje got hit in the nuts there. The way he reacted, the way he went, oh, you know. Man. That was a great fight. Anyway, yeah, I had cellulitis in my throat when I was a kid, and I could have died from it. I had to spend time in the hospital, and I obviously healed, but um, because of the cellulitis, I developed a tic disorder, and those tics have always been there. But as time has gone on, they've gotten better. Where it's like instead of them being constant, or instead of them being more often than not, I'll go through phases where like maybe for a week or two I'll have tics, and then for like a long time, sometimes like months, even I will not have like serious tics or anything like that. You know. Um, I might still have them a little bit, but they're not nearly as noticeable. And that's why, like, you know, that's why, like, I'm twitching a little bit and stuff like that. Um, I do think they're stress related a little bit. Like, when I'm more stressed, when I have more shit going on, specifically shit I don't want to be doing all the time, I think it does make them worse. And it makes sense because last week was my first week back at work. Um, so you know, I'm a little, yeah, you know, I'm feeling it. I'm fucking feeling it a little bit, you know. And then I got all this other bullshit going on, you know. But damn, that was a beating. Yeah, it was, you know. It wasn't one sided though. It definitely wasn't one sided. Paddy Pimblet put up a good fight. I don't see how they could give this fight to Paddy. I think they absolutely positively have to give that to I think they absolutely positively have to give that to Justin Gaethje. I don't think there's any way they could give it to anybody else, you know. But to anybody else, they're gonna give it to Mark Goddard. Is who they're gonna give it to. Oh, I forgot this was for an interim championship. Oh, that's good for him, you know. Hmm. Yeah, that was a good fight. That's everything a title fight is supposed to be. You know, that's everything a title fight's supposed to be. A title fight is not supposed to be trying to point your way to a victory. It's supposed to be like leaving it all out there. You know, that's why the UFC that's why the UFC was like so popular when it became popular is because people got tired of boxing not being a display of heart and grit anymore, you know? And MMA became the place that people would go to see grit, you know? Um, but lately, for years now, MMA has been less of a display of grit and more of just like a classical sport where, like, you're only doing what you need to win, no more. And because of that, a lot of the time people are underperforming compared to where they need to. There's so many fights out there where it's not that somebody won, it's that the other guy lost. And that's a big difference from somebody going out there, imposing their will, rising above adversity, and really fucking winning. You know, those are two different things, you know? Um, Imagine if they cloned Gaethje and every fight was just a Gaethje versus Gaethje. Hell yeah. The GFC, the Gaethje Fighting Championship. I have a similar tick where I try to breathe where I try to breathe through my ears when I'm stressed and grind my teeth even while awake. Yeah, I hate shit like that, you know. I don't know about the whole breathe through your ears thing. Maybe I should try that one. Maybe 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 I should give that one a try, you know. Um but yeah. Um I don't like grind my teeth, but like I'll clench my teeth sometimes and I won't even sometimes I don't realize I'm doing it, other times I do realize I'm doing it and it just feels like good, if that makes sense, you know? Move move him backwards, put your head in his chest. Yeah, that's what you do every time, Justin. I want to hear what Patty has to say. He's just a fun guy to listen to. Fucking Patty Pimblet is just like he's got the funniest fucking accent. What's with Liverpool people and their accent, dude? Of course, 1447. He hit me with a body shot in that first round. Know what I mean? I thought I was winning the first round. You live in your lane. They were fighting to see who gets destroyed by Tapuria. Yeah, I forgot Ilya's fighting at 155 now. Is he a double champ? He's shit. He's not a double champ right now, right? Is he? I forget. Did he say Scott? Did he say Scott killed himself?
I don't know.
Uh, yes, okay, yeah. Topuria won, yeah, okay. Patty Pimblet seems like a nice guy. He seems like a dude I'd love to train with. You know, he seems like he'd be fun to be around. You know, just a genuine dude. I'll give him that. Oh man, he gave up the 145 to win the 155. Ah yes, um, interesting, interesting, man. Sarukian, dude, fucking Arman Sarukian looks like fucking Wendigoon. And when you see it, you can't unsee it. You know? Anyway. Tick's going crazy. I think it's about that time to get out of here. All right. I had a good time tonight. I hope you guys did too. Kind of a short one, I feel like. You know, these are usually like 4 or 5 hours, but it started earlier and I was a little late. I was like 20 minutes late, I want to say. Um And I don't know though. I don't know. You know, maybe it was around the same time. I'll have to compare this to other fight companion streams that they've had. But um, you know, thank you everybody who showed up. Um, thanks for the stream. Hope you don't get hit too bad by the storm night. Yeah, me too, man. Thank you. Hope you don't get hit too bad either. Assuming you are gonna have a storm. But yeah, I'm gonna head out. All right. I don't know if I'm gonna be streaming tomorrow. I might. I didn't stream last night because I was playing Arc Raiders with the guys. You know, I would have played again tonight, but I was like, no, UFC is on tonight. I didn't stream last night. I got to stream. You know, so I don't know. Maybe that's still fucking on. Maybe I should check that out. But um, anyway, were any of the fights based in Red Pilled? All of them except the girl fights. We're taking the Fuentes pill. All of the fights, except the girl fights, were based in red pilled. Anyway, um, oh man, they just showed a brief clip of the fight between Pereira and the Czech dude. Why can't I remember his name?
Yuri.
Huh?
Yuri.
Oh yeah, Yuri Prohaska. That fight happened during Blood Games. I remember watching it on my phone. Like I was in the woodshed, which was kind of the backstage area. I was in the woodshed and I'm just like looking like I'm watching in the woodshed and it fucking ended up being like not even a 2 minute fight. And I was like, "Oh, all right, cool." So I put my phone away and then I got ready to be a vampire. So yeah, that was funny. I guess I don't know, but anyway, thank you all. I appreciate you, as you know. All right, I don't know when I'm gonna stream next. It will be soon though. I promise. All right, and yeah, till next time. Peace out.